And then briefly go over exactly how they did that. Um, did you go to U of O? I went to Oregon State, not U of O, but pretty close. All right. Let's close that. Let's close that. I don't need all these tabs open, guys. You know, I will say a commonality in students with massive success stories, it's creative finance. I see one-off deals in cash. I see one-off deals in cash, but students like, guys, let's look at the students who have had massive success as of late. Yusuf, creative finance. Yeah, I live in Oregon. I'm from the Bay Area. I live in Oregon. Yusuf, creative finance deals. Although I will say he does have a $16,000 cash deal in closing. Kira, creative finance deals, although she also does a little bit of cash as well. Then we saw Rowan's $28,000 assignment fee. That's a creative finance deal. Pam's 50. That's the same size as Jesimar's deal, but with a lot less pain. $50,000 assignment fee. That was a creative finance deal as well. So I would say, guys, like you're gonna get lucky. You'll have a one-off cash deal, and I love cash deals, and they work, and we should keep going after them. But if you're doing cash, it's not that you need to let go of one strategy and just focus on the other strategy. You do both of them. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that these students are multifaceted. They're multifaceted. They're doing cash deals and they're doing creative finance deals. And I hope Pam is here because I just got the craziest news about Pam's deal. I just confirmed it again with my team. We got to tell Jesimar this. Jesimar is going to be punching the air when he hears this. So Jesimar, we got another 50K. We got another 50K assignment fee. But it's just a normal deal. There's no back and forth. There's no like, what about this? What about that? Just normal seller finance deal assigned for $50,000. Like Nick might have one too, but I'm hoping to get the story from Pam. For beginners, what do you recommend? I think cash is great. What do you think, Jesimar? What do you think a beginner should do?
For beginner, I mean, I think it depends on how much of a killer you are on the phone. If you're a killer on the phone, you can talk to people. Start creative, man. That's where the real deals are.
True.
But if you're just starting out, if you can't really, if you're learning the ropes and you don't really have to talk to people yet, just start cash because it's just, hey, my lender has to be here, accept or deny.
Yeah, that's actually really true, guys. I would say it's a kind of I had a one-on-one with a guy today, and I said he was like, so what allows people to get deals? And I was like, well, it's your identification for a deal, but it's also how you come across on the phone. Because bro kind of sounded like Eeyore. We hop on the phone. He goes, "Hi, Richard. Today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about," and I'm like, man, let me pause you right there. Like, I just showed you how to identify the deals, but if you're sounding like that on the phone, yeah, I mean, come on, it's going to be really hard for somebody to take you seriously. So we got to be confident, guys. We got to be confident and competent and assertive. Now, where's Pam? Pam, come on up. I don't know why it won't let me invite you on stage. Do you have the ability to invite people on stage?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can invite people. Yeah.
It won't let me bring up Pam. I don't know why.
If he's in here, I'll invite him a few.
Oh, Pam, come say hi. Pam,
I don't think he's in here.
Pam says on my way.
But nah, seriously, Richard, I mean, like, I'll continue to say it, man. You changed my life. I never viewed real estate the way I did now compared to, I'm thinking, hey, before this grew, I'm thinking I got traditionally 20% down, 3.5% down. But the way creative finance just changed my perspective on everything. I appreciate you, man, for real.
Of course, we should get you a flip now while you have the money to do it. Because honestly, did you see the lender we added to the Discord?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I'm thinking it might only be 5 to 7K down because he says you put 10% down of the purchase price. And man, I'm almost ready to ramp up to 2 of these per month. So I stepped in a lot of potholes if over the past 4 months, and I think I'm ready to expand here. But dude, if you were to go to like Detroit, Michigan, you could probably find something really, really quickly. You're honestly just lowballing these people. I mean, this is the first guy I saw, no photos, so he probably has tenants in place. But dude, you could find a light rehab. You could go on Google. You could start vetting contractors or even on Instagram or commenting on posts of other fix and flips that you saw. And you could find yourself a contractor who would do like a 25K job, your rehab paid for, your purchase price paid for, but 10% down and no closing costs. I know we're used to putting 10%, okay, and then another 5K for closing, but not here. So like, let's say
Right.
you got, I mean, we'll just find a really easy one. Let's say you got a multifamily. Geez, there's so many in here, guys. There's so many. Look at this 70K one amongst other expensive ones. I have actually reviewed this deal. It's bad. But if you got a multifamily, even something like this one needs exterior work, but the interior is not. Oh, that's actually good. That's actually good. You know, this needs probably $30,000, maybe more. I would ask about the exterior, but perhaps you get something like this for 50K. You get something like this for 50. Maybe you put $40,000 into it, and then it just sells for like 150. And instead of just looking at the comps for ARV, I'm underwriting these based on their cash on cash return. I look at the rent and I'm like, this is our cash on cash, and I try to hit the same returns that our buyers are looking for, dude. And honestly, what's really cool is I've probably spent an hour and a half on my last flip, like literally an hour and a half. I called the realtor, and you don't even have to go that deep. This is the really cool thing. I call the realtor, and dude, I got this for 56. I've got it for 56 right now. Isn't that not really a discount? Like if you brought that to me as a wholesale deal, I'd be like, bro, that's not a deal. But you know, now we're not talking about appealing to investors. Now it's literally just the numbers side of things. And I'm anticipating to sell this thing for $140,000 because it rents out for $2,000 per side, just long-term rent.
Wow.
25K job. This will take a month. I will do exactly none of the work myself. I will have no design input, no decisions, nothing like that. And then we'll go ahead and sell the property for 140, and we'll literally make 50K. So the deal is like $56,000, no assignment fee. I found the deal myself. $5,000 closing costs plus origination fee. I got quoted $25,000 for rehab, but I'm having my lender give me 30. I learned the first time. So we're having our lender give us 30,000. So we'll call it 30K, even though it's not really going to be 30, but the lender gives us $30,000. Now we're in it for 91, and I'm honestly calling buyers on Facebook and just sending it to my buyers list so that we don't have a realtor fee. So if I sell for 140,000, they pay closing costs, as you know, so I don't have to take anything off the top. It's literally just minus the 91. It's 50,000 profit, and it's hour and a half of my time. And then I'll do like 3 wholesale deals in between that. In between that time, I contracted a mortgage takeover, this one on Lappin, from the contractor who's doing the work. The contractor's like, yo, I saw you do stuff on social media regarding like rental properties. Like, yeah, show me what you have. He has this one. I get him on mortgage takeover terms, 12K down, assigned for 17K. It's a 3-1, not a 2-1, but it's great because it gives you the free time to continue to wholesale while you know you have something cooking. It's like you got something in the oven and you don't necessarily have to be on this hamster wheel 24/7.
Right. I don't gotta watch it. I got somebody else watching the bread for me.
Yeah, man. I would recommend.
Oh man.
If I were you, I mean, maybe we have some Detroit contractors in the chat, but I would do Detroit contractors. And I would just start calling these guys and asking them for vetting information. But I'm going to come out with a fix and flip course soon. As soon as I get that first payout, the 50 that or 46 that I'm expecting from Tacoma Street, I'm going to come out with a fix and flip course showing everything that I've learned throughout the process. Guys, if you're curious about the lender is in #private money loans. #private money loans. And you can reach out to him. Or if he's not in there, his username is Luna. We just added this yesterday. No qualification. It's based on the deal, not so much your personal income and credit score. So he says he underwrites the deal to determine whether or not it'll be a deal. Anyways,
never ceased to amaze me, man. Never.
I would look into it, man, because it's just I would start planning for that. I'm really liking this direction, and I really didn't think I'd be going into it. If you asked me a year ago today, are you going to flip any house? I'd be like, hell no. But yes, I will. I will be. Anyways, I'm doing subject to, is seller carry the same as seller financing? Yes. Seller carry is specifically the amount that the seller lets you make payments on. So perhaps you have a purchase price of, I don't know, 100,000 with a 10K down payment. Your seller carry is 90K. All right. Anyways, we got to hear from Pam, and we also should hear from Nick, because Nick has a $15,000 deal in closing that he's supposed to be paid out for this week. Pam, oh my goodness. Pam, show us what you showed us yesterday. You dropped a big check in the chat yesterday. This is a precursor to what we're about to say.
Yeah. I mean, seller finance for the win.
Pam's been ripping seller finance. Nick, what do you think? Do you think Nick has a cash deal, seller finance deal, mortgage takeover deal?
What was his fee? You said 15?
Nick has 15. It's also seller finance, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say seller finance.
Pam's gonna show us a big check, and then we're gonna talk about an even bigger check. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Let me find that.
Pam is making doctor money now, guys. Off-market TAA, can you help? Yeah, sure. Sure. Don't worry, honey beehives. We really appreciate you being here regardless. PML covers closing costs. Yeah, isn't that cool, guys? My PML literally covered purchase price. PML stands for private money lender. Purchase price, no down payment, all rehab. It's been insane. Okay, so here's the precursor to what Pam is about to talk to us about. So you got this earlier this month, huh?
Yep, like 5 days ago. I just opened up my account today too.
So we got this 5 days ago. That's a $14,200 check, guys. And that's from seller financing, right?
Yeah. Well, it's technically it's Morby method with a band-aid on it, but yeah, it turned out to be seller finance just because he had to restructure everything, couldn't get the loan, it all kind of went crazy.
Right, Morby method, really crazy, like kind of unpredictable type of deal from what I've seen.
Yeah, it closed though, and it closed with a band-aid on it.
That's great. What do you mean a band-aid though?
Because it took 4 lenders to get it done, and when he couldn't get it done with a real lender, he used a private money lender to just get it closed. And his plan is to refinance later this year.
Interesting. Okay, so you got a $14,000 check there, and then guys, I hop on with my team today, and one of my virtual assistants is like, she's sitting on the phone, she's like this, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, great. Her name is Nina. Her name is Nina. And I was like, Nina, what's going on? I sent a picture in the chat. We were kind of laughing about it. And my other dispositions manager says she's praying. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why? And she says, well, she's been working on this $50,000 assignment fee, which I had no knowledge of, by the way, which is literally why I go live for this exact purpose. But I had no knowledge of it. I didn't know anything about it. And I'm like, whose deal is that? And she says, they're signing right now and submitting earnest money today. So we got to talk about the deal without showing any addresses because obviously it's still fragile. So we're just going to talk about it in super vague terms without showing my screen or anything. I understand this is a 6 unit.
6 unit in Sacramento.
And I think you told me about this. Is this the one where you asked about the low cash on cash return, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, that was me. It's not really low. It's just not like 20%. So I was wondering, does it have to be 20%? But it's about 15. But you said it's in California, so it's like it could be 10. Even if it was 10, it'd be okay.
And guys, I think the reason for that is we can anticipate really strong appreciation. You know, the property literally goes up in value as you own it. It's in Sacramento, California, which is a slightly less desirable area than some other places in California, but it's up and coming for sure. I mean, it's the capital of California, so its prices are bound to go through the roof in the future. Now, was this a Zillow listing? What is it?
So it is on market, but it's not Zillow. Like, well, I couldn't find it on Zillow. It's still not on Zillow right now. But it's like on the MLS, and it's some like off-brand California listing or something like that.
Okay, so what was it listed for?
It was listed for $750. I buffed the purchase price by 10%, so I offered them $825, and then I offered him first 72 down, and he kind of fought there, and I had to get it higher. So I offered him 85, and then we settled on 100 because he literally just wouldn't budge off the 100. So I changed the payments. This is where I changed the terms. So I got like a higher balloon. I got a refi contingency. I I think I changed the payments down to where we get it to like a 15 cash on cash deal, and then kind of went from there. And then they accepted and signed.
Yikes to whatever's in the chat. If you want to know how to go bankrupt 7 times in a row, if you want to, guys, honestly, it's a great article by the New York Times. You look up, is Trump a good businessman? And it goes over his entire business history, bankruptcy after bankruptcy, after government bailout, after government bailout, after bankruptcy. And the saying is the house always wins, unless the owner is Donald Trump. In that case, the house loses because he got a casino bankrupt, which is unbelievable. Anyways, I'd rather talk to Pam than read that book. I think you're going to learn a lot more from Pam than reading that book, especially given that bro had to pay millions to his victims of his scam college. Anyways, so you offered, guys, that's the craziest thing. 750, you offered 825. You offered this guy $75,000 over his asking price?
You have an exchange for 0% interest.
Which is crazy. Guys, I don't know any other type of real estate where you offer $75,000 above what a house is listed for, yet somehow you pocket a $50,000 finder's fee for that. So I got to understand the terms here. It's 0% interest payments. Were they payments of $2,700 or did I get that wrong?
The payments to the seller, let's see here. I think the PITI total is that, but the payments to the seller is $1,550.
$1,550. Okay. And then I heard it was rented out. I guess the payment might be maybe the payment's $2,200 or $2,700. And that's because of taxes and insurance?
Yeah, taxes and insurance, like kind of estimated taxes and insurance.
And what does it bring in? What does it bring in on the 6 units?
$5,300 per month.
$5,300 per month. Wow. So paying somewhere around $2,500, renting out for $5,300, which is not the craziest ROI, but I think the crazy part is the location of this property is just peak. It's just in a great area. Sacramento is an awesome place to have a house. Now, here's a question. Would this thing cash flow conventionally if you were to get it with a normal mortgage?
Nope. Conventionally, it would be negative cash flow, $1,200 per month.
Negative cash flow. So what was your approach? How did you call the realtor and get the offer accepted?
Well, it was kind of like, I was kind of just, I called him. I didn't really have an approach, like as far as like trying to do the checkmate, really. I kind of just calling them, asking them about the property. I was asking them where they opened the seller finance. He told me they wanted to do a 1031 exchange. Turns out that's not even true. I think the realtor just kind of said that. But the guy is just older, like 79. He wants to move on and retire, and he kind of wants to just part ways with the property kind of any way he can. So I kind of offered, I just offered pretty much over list, and he was like over list, and he started to get interested, and we were talking about the terms for maybe like a week and a half. So it was kind of like something we had to work on. And after we worked on it for a while, he ended up accepting that and saying send it over, and I'll sign it. Then I sent it over to the agent. Then he said he wanted to put it on his car or air or whatever, California. Then we kind of like translated it, got it signed by me, and then got it from there.
So was the balloon a 5-year balloon?
5-year balloon, but I got a refi contingency for a year.
Okay, so just in case you can't refinance them out at the 5 years, meaning kind of pay off the underlying amount that we owe the seller, he can extend another year, which is helpful because remember, the payments are 0% interest. So another year means another year of appreciation and another year of paying down the debt, which is great. Now that fee is kind of unprecedented. That's kind of there's only been a handful of students who have gotten $50,000 finder's fees. So I'm going to keep you posted as to whether or not they sign and submit EMD, but it's my understanding that they're signing right now and submitting EMD. My last question to you before we talk to some other people is, was your approach kind of cash flow based? Like, hey, I'd love to be at this price, but how do I do it?
Yeah, it really came down to his down payment because I wanted 72 down, and then I offered 85 after he said no and wanted 100 down, and then we actually had to stop at the 100. But when it came to payments, I told him I had the cash flow, and I just kind of traded like, okay, if you really want that down, I really want to be able to construct these payments how I need them. So I just kept going lower and lower in payments. And I was looking at the refi check too, like on my calculator is a refi check for the balloon, and it's still refied out. So I'm like, okay, I can keep going lower and lower, and just got better cash flow, and that's what I was really trying to do. Like that's the trade off.
Great. Wow. Well, this is really great. This is really, really great. Keep pushing, man. I'm going to keep you posted as to whether or not EMD is submitted on that. I really, really hope it is, because that's like a life-changing win right there. That'll allow you to start investing too.
Yeah, there is another EMD submitted that we got EMD in and assigned to as well, but it's just not as good of a deal. It's only $8,500.
Only $8,500. When was this?
That got submitted yesterday, so pretty much it's kind of hand in hand, same time.
Dude, that would be
it's
insane.
For mortgage takeover.
That would be insane. That would mean that this month you would have gotten 14 plus 85, which is about 22.5 plus 50. Guys, that would be like a $75,000 month. Be like a 70. This person says, I'm 13 from Puerto Rico closing deals in Detroit. Have you closed a deal, Speed King of Detroit? His username is Speed King of Detroit. You closed a deal, bro? That's crazy. Anyways, I don't know what the hell he's posting in the chat, but anyways, he says he's not 13. Well, you got my attention, man. Pam, that's good stuff. I think we got one person asking, how old are you? Or is it okay to ask you that?
Yeah. So you probably wouldn't, if you saw me next to you, Richard, you probably think I was younger, but I'm actually 34.
You're 30, he's 34, but he looks 18 or something. Well, dude, that's awesome, man. I'm really happy that this is starting to pan out for you. How many calls do you make per day?
I try to have like 5 to 10 good conversations, and then I kind of got it funneled out now to where I spend like a couple hours doing follow-ups.
And how long does that take you? Like per day? Like, I guess if people were curious about a work-life balance, you know, you might have a $75,000 month in wholesaling this month. What is the work-life balance for that? How many hours a day do you work?
I would say after you get a funnel going and you're already starting to get offers out, maybe that second, third week, you're just going to start to notice that maybe 3 to 4 hours of kind of just paying attention to it. And it's really just paying attention to it, like calling for like a couple hours, then you're paying attention to the negotiations with the realtors, especially if you're focusing on seller finance, because they're just kind of like going back and forth.
Interesting. And what hours of the day do you call usually?
Kind of earlier. I do like maybe like 10 to like 1 p.m. or like 10 to 2. And I kind of do other stuff from there because I kind of work on art and stuff like that.
Great. Wow. Well, really, really good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing, man. Wishing you continued success.
Thank you. I just want to bring more finder's fees.
Talk soon, man. Talk soon. Great work. Guys, that's Pam or Aaron, community helper and Hold My Hand Wholesale. I don't know how long they've been at this, but they're having massive success right now. Now Nick is going to tell us he has another deal. Nick, what happened to your 15K deal in closing? Is that still closing?
Yeah, the notaries actually hit everybody today, except for the initial, I guess the initial note holder. It's a seller finance deal, and I'm basically creating a seller finance deal. So I'm renegotiating terms with an existing seller finance deal. So the actual note holder, she's getting her notary on Friday, and then the deal will be closed and it'll be done.
You want to tell us a little bit about the terms?
Yeah. Geez, God, if I remember them. Dude, I offered this guy like a deal 4 months ago, and he was a little opposed to seller finance. He didn't really want to do it. And he said he was gonna exercise other options. And then he came back 3 months ago, and he realized he wasn't gonna get any better deal. So I offered him like $30K to take over his basically existing seller finance deal that he had with the previous owner. But his deal was like, he was bringing in like 4,000 and his payments were 2,500 a month at a 6% interest rate. And I was like, this is terrible. If we can lower these payments down to $2,000 a month with a 3% interest rate, and we'll give this woman an 8-year balloon. We can probably make this deal happen. And then he talked to the seller, the initial note holder, and then we got it all figured out. So it was basically just like renegotiating the seller finance deal with the first note holder.
I've never done
it
that
was
before.
an interesting deal.
It
was really interesting.
I've literally never done that. So guys, I don't know how the hell he got them to agree to this, because there's literally no incentive for the other person to do this deal. I just don't understand it. But and wow, Jesse, that looks fire, dude. That's actually, look at that. Jesse has a lot of sushi that he made. Anyways, dude, I don't understand why the owner would agree to something, or the note holder would agree. Like, hey, I know we've already closed and I'm supposed to pay you and you get the house back if I don't pay you, but what if I paid you less?
Oh, yeah, it was like individuals, like it was everyone's situation just kind of created a perfect storm for the renegotiation. I mean, like the lady who was the original note holder, she's like 85 and she wants her, she just wants cash and she wants her kids to get the cash. And so she took it with the balloon, even though the monthly payments were less. It was less interest. And then he took it because he just needs money. I think he just wants cash to invest in elsewhere. So he took it. Yeah, I don't even know why somebody would. Yeah, it just doesn't make much sense. But anyways, it happened, and then I actually have another deal that I think is gonna go through, but it's another seller finance deal, and yeah, it's bringing in like $1,450 and all in. There's no interest. It's just principal only payments, but all in is like, I think it's it's $1,072 for your payment, tax, insurance, and HOA. So you're cash flowing like $378, and it's 13% down. So that should be a good deal. I don't know. I'm trying to find a buyer for that. So
wow. Well, that's
it's in
great.
Tulsa.
That's great, dude. Submit it to our team. That's how you found your last buyer, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, submit it to the team. Tulsa's a good market, dude. Definitely a good market.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Keep pushing, man.
Thanks. Yeah, it's like a rush. It's kind of a rush. Like you talk to these people and you're like, damn, that could just be like a 10K phone call right there.
And you almost became a realtor. And then you'd be restricted to one market. You'd be restricted to one market, and that one market being Oregon, where houses literally don't cash flow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Don't become a realtor, guys. It's just not going to go as well as wholesaling would. Anyways, talk soon, okay? I got to work with Yusuf on his deals.
Richard, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm a little bit tired from yesterday. I didn't even sleep. Like I was waiting for the video.
Well, dude, let's see. How's your video doing? What did you like it?
Yeah.
You liked it. Okay. Oh, it's got 10,000 views on Instagram, man. That's good. It's got TikTok barely does as well as YouTube nowadays. But anyways, your agent is hitting me up. I think he sent me some contracts.
Sounds good.
Wow, let's see what we have. So Andrew Colburn has sent you documents to sign. Okay, so this is, let me give him a call. Let's give him a call just to understand what it is that we're signing. I'm pretty sure. So guys, this is an Egyptian student with $26,000 in closing right now, and if he gets this, it's going to sell for probably 15 to 20, maybe even more. It's just absolutely insane. So I'm going to call the realtor right now. They've already agreed to the offer. We have the contract out. I just have to see what he sent me here.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Drew, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Staring at the computer way too long today, but good.
Well, hey, I'm looking at the contract here. So sorry, I don't think I've been quite up to date with our messages. What did you say had to be changed again, just so I'm up to speed?
We took the fee out on number line 21 that
Perfect.
you requested. And that's really about it.
Oh, great. Okay. And now this, I understand there was some issue with the contracts, and you guys had to resend it. Now I'm looking at one right here. This one is for 28, and then
Yep.
the 32, is that going to be a separate contract?
That was a separate contract. I believe you signed it. Hold on.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, and
Let me
then,
double check while I got you on the phone, though.
No
It's
problem.
two clicks away. So
no problem.
32 Farron's signed contracts. I do have a signed on a 32.
Great. And then just to clarify here, how long is our inspection on this one? So I know
5 days on each. 5 days from the bottom line on each.
Great. And then we have EMD post inspection.
EMD of 2,000 each post
Great.
post inspection.
Perfect. No problem whatsoever then. All right, I've added my signature to this. This should be with you now. Would you let me know as soon as the seller signs so that we can start this process here? I want to try to get my
Actually, you'll get an email here shortly. If he's not in the car, I'll send both of them over right away, and then I'll text you when they're emailed over to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Drew. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Now, here's the thing, man. I'm going to put a safeguard in place for your deal. I probably would buy this if it doesn't sell. It will sell, but I'll probably buy it if it doesn't sell. So I'm going to run over this. I know we've done it so many times, but just for everybody listening, because we've just had so many wins. Your realtor, he just said that they're going to sign. So they're 100% signing the contract. And because they're 100% signing the contract, you're probably going to have, 26 plus 15 is $41,000 in closing minimum this month. However, if this deal doesn't sell for whatever reason, unless it's a condition issue, I will be your buyer on this thing. Kind of as a backup buyer here, we talked about why I don't exactly want to take on some new projects, but I can't ignore how good your deal is. So let me see these houses. I understand they're kind of in the Detroit metro area. We got one of them for $260 here. And we're paying $520 for both of them. So we got $520. Our down payment is $52,000. Then we are looking at a monthly payment of $2,000.
$2,000. Yeah.
For both of them, right?
Yeah, both of them.
For both of them. And then it can rent out for $2,300 on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So guys, $4,600 coming in. Taxes and insurance, let's call it $250 per property.
$700 for both.
Okay, $700 for both. So we pay $2,700. We're going to be bringing in $4,600, and that's going to be 4 units for $52,000. So I would 100% buy something like that. It just makes a lot of sense to me. The only other check that I have is I'd love to see the neighborhood. However, the price point kind of lets you know what the neighborhood's going to be like. Guys, I want to say that the median housing price in Detroit is probably what, like 150? Yeah, this is such a cute neighborhood, guys. It's such a cute neighborhood. Without revealing anything, I am going to share just a photo of the neighborhood and kind of what we're seeing here. Because it's just like, wow, yeah, that's where you want to own. Guys, I can't share this address. It's it's almost done, but look at that. Isn't that exactly where you want to have a house? No problem there. That's great, guys. It's a really pretty area. So if they sign, I just want to let you know your deal will close and I will give you an assignment fee if I end up buying it. So I will pay you an assignment fee 100%. But I'm hoping that we can find another buyer, which we will be able to.
Hopefully. I do believe like seller finance deals sells really fast. So yeah, hopefully we can find
just like
someone.
that, bro. And your location, we've learned about the location. I was like, where the hell is that? But now we know. That it's just great all around, man. I want to thank you for making this business model work so well, because students like you having success in this lets me sleep better at night. Because if I'm like, this guy in Egypt can do it, which I just want to say, man, the odds are against you. You know, the United States is a racist, hateful place. And when they hear a foreign accent, they judge you for it. And you're still making it work in the middle of the night with no prior real estate experience, 21 years old, from across the world. So it's just, if you can do it, anybody can do it. Good job, man.
I appreciate it, Richard.
And you guys know his story. I think he has 40 canceled contracts, and now he knows exactly what to do, which is great. Anyways,
That's a little bit embarrassing, but yeah, 43. Yeah, 43.
I think coming from a foreign background, the United States is really, really foreign. The types of deals that we buy, really, really foreign. What do you think you were doing wrong before? Were you locking up deals in cash, just kind of left and right?
Yeah, without running numbers. I didn't know how to run numbers. I didn't know how the investor looked for the deals. So I was just, hitting like discount. I got like 30% discount before, but it didn't sell because the rent was like 1,000 and the cash on cash return was like 10% or like 12% with a DSCR. So that was really bad. Right now, I swear to God, like I have no problem, you know, giving an offer for the White House. If it's rented out for like 1,200, I will give a $60,000 for the White House. I don't care. I'll just shoot my shot.
Wow. Okay. So you were going after cash deals. Were you getting good discounts on those first deals that you got under contract, or not really?
The one that got sold, the deals that got sold.
The ones that didn't get sold. So, like, for example,
No,
what
I will
was
be honest with you. It's not the best. No, not the best. And even though with the deals that I got like really good discount in, the cash on cash return or the area is really bad.
Wow. Well, it's an awesome story to share. So, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it too, Richard.
All right. Here's a question. Are you into sub twos or sub two wraps? So what's a wrap? What's a wrap? A wrap is like, let's say we got a 4% interest rate house, a mortgage takeover, and perhaps we buy the house subject to the existing loan. And then instead of renting the property as we normally do, we resell the property on a land contract at a 6% interest rate for a down payment. Does that make sense, guys? Normal mortgage, 4%, but it doesn't cash flow long term. So we resell the property for the same price, but we wrap 6% interest around it and then charge a down payment. So in this method, you get your down payment back and you cash flow on the deal. And then the other benefit is when something goes wrong with the house, the landlord doesn't have to, well, you're not the landlord. You technically sold the house. So the person you sold the house to is responsible for any sort of maintenance, management, anything like that. And if they miss payments, because it's a land contract, you can get the house back. Now this is the exit strategy side of things. This is on the exit strategy. You can wrap a deal after you buy a deal. Have I ever done it? No. Have I tried to do it? Yes. Did I find anybody? No. So I was completely unable to find a wrap buyer. I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked, and I could not find a wrap buyer. And then there's the acquiring a subject to deal as a wrap where the seller holds title. That deal is entirely uninteresting to my buyers because we don't hold title and we can't depreciate the property. So do I like subject to deals? Yes. Do I recommend wrapping a subject to deal? No. But I kind of do subject to in a different way. It's called a trust acquisition agreement. And in a trust acquisition agreement, it's a safer way to do subject to. Essentially, what you say is, let's put the house into a trust and we will partner on ownership of the trust. You will add me to the ownership of the trust. Not so much buying a house subject to and then putting that subject to deal into a trust, more so keeping the seller on as a tiny beneficiary of the trust. A small owner of the trust, perhaps 10% owner of the trust, and we're 90% owner of the trust. So it's more so a partnership with the seller. House goes into the trust, they add us to the ownership of the trust without fully removing their name. And the reason for that is, well, did the house ever sell? No, the house didn't sell. You simply added an owner onto your property. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Next would probably be Sammy. Hey, Sammy, what's going on, man?
Hey, Rich. Thanks for having me. So I have, where's the DMs? Okay. I'm sending you two addresses. The first one is a trust acquisition that's off market. I blasted the phone of the agent for about 4 weeks. She agreed. She seemed on board and she just dropped off the face of the earth. and I'm just, I mean, maybe assess the deal and try to reach the owner somehow? Would you say that's a good move?
Potentially, potentially. Usually the realtor ghosting you means they might have gotten another offer. I like to call them with a separate phone number.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're open to that, sure. I mean, it did fall off market. It's a failed listing now.
Oh, so she probably couldn't convince the owner that it was going to be a good deal. So the owner probably was like, you know what, I'm not even going to sell this thing. So yeah, skip trace the owner, especially if it's off market.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
The other one, I just wanted to ask you if it's also off market, but it's possibly seller finance. I wanted to say if it's a good idea or not, because it does need some renovation.
If it's some, that's okay. If it's a full rehab, that's not okay, but let's check it out.
Okay, it's the second address. It's a duplex for 2 units, 2 ones. I don't know how helpful Zillow can be with those.
You know, I can't see any photos of it.
Yeah, Stu, are you there? I'm from Syria, by the way.
I'm sorry, you say you're from Syria?
Yeah.
Cool. You're doing this from overseas?
No. I came to Canada.
Okay,
but I learned my English basically from Eminem and the show Friends. So
Eminem and the show Friends. That's what I'm talking about, man. I don't have any photos of the interior of this house. Is there anything you can tell me about the house?
It's the only thing it's missing is a kitchen and some renovation. I would put it somewhere between 10 and 15 at most. I myself am a contractor as well and an inspector.
Mm-hmm.
He said he put this as because it's right next to a school or a college, if you can see maybe on the map or somewhere. Mm-hmm. So it used to be housing for students. So he would rent it as individual units. The suggested rehab from him was turn it back into a multifamily, so it becomes 2 ones. Right now, it's kind of it used to be a multifamily. He turned it to a big single family of 4 units or 4 bedrooms, I guess, with 2 baths, but can be easily converted. Based on the pictures, I'm seeing somewhere between 10 to 15,000. I only mentioned this because in seller finance, I saw it on the Buy Box Cartel that sometimes seller finance would say, rehab of 8,000 or 7,000.
Yes, sometimes.
I'm just wondering what.
Sometimes, yes, it does need a little bit of renovation. I don't have any photos of this. I'll take your word for it that maybe it needs 15, but I would say that if a house needs $15,000 and you're going to seller finance it, we're probably going to want to put 5% down instead of 10% down.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to find you a link
where
he sent me the pictures.
Where are you getting these deals from? These off-market deals? Are these lightning leads?
Some yes, some was just again. This is also a failing or a failed listing. I called him a while back. I think he was trying to sell for the number that he had in mind. It simply did not go. So I was figured, okay, you guys, you see where the market is. Would you consider something creative? Half and half, open to the idea, but we'll see. I'm trying to get the link over to you. Just 1 second.
Great. So guys, if you're unfamiliar with failed listings can be really cool because they already know where the market is. So if you're like, hey, what is a failed listing? What could that look like for me? Well, let me show you. If you go to buyboxcartel.com and you log into your account, which all of you already have accounts because you're members of Hold My Hand Wholesale, click this tab on the top right, click Control Panel, and then click on Lightning Leads. Let's say I wanted to do Rochester. And let's say I wanted to do off-market mortgage takeovers. And I click search. Let's see if we can find something. I'm going to price these low to high. And I'm going to look for somebody who probably needs our help. This guy. This guy has a 3-bed, 1 bath. He was asking for $140,000. And he owes about $110,000 on it. It was listed about 2.5 months ago, and he took it off the market. He has a monthly payment of $700, and the rent is $1,800. So it literally makes $700 per month. We could offer this guy about $15,000 to take over his debt. So what's the trade-off? Well, this thing used to be listed for sale on the market, right? See how it's no longer for sale anymore, guys? Well, it was for sale. It was for sale at 139. And then all of a sudden he removed the listing. But you can see he doesn't really live here anymore. So why'd he remove the listing? Any ideas? Why did he remove the listing?
It's the days run out, I guess.
No.
Oh, sorry. The listing is too close to the debt.
I mean, people might have been offering him 110, 115. He owes 108. You know, he wasn't going to make any money on the sale. I call him and be like, "Hey, bro, I saw you had that house for sale. What, you know, you're not selling that house anymore on Owen Street? I was kind of an interested buyer when you did have it for sale. Are you still open to selling it?" And see what they say. And now how do I contact the person, the realtor? Well, as I said, it's off market. This is an off market deal now, but it was on market. It was for sale. It's just not for sale anymore. So what I do is I click create offer. I unlock his cell phone number, literally the cell phone number. And then I put this into my phone and I call them. So I didn't answer I didn't answer my trade-off question. The trade-off is the phone number is about 40% accurate. You still have to make a number of calls. It's not that you have to make a number of calls because people say no. It's that you have to make a number of calls because it's skip tracing. And when you skip trace a phone number, it's not 100% accurate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this guy and see if it's accurate. One thing that you can do prior to the call to see if it's accurate is put it into your phone. And if it turns blue, it's probably linked to somebody's actual phone number. So this phone number just turned blue on my screen. I hope y'all can see that. The phone number is blue on my screen on my phone, which lets me know like, hey, I mean, that's an accurate phone number. So really quick, dude, let me give this guy a call and just see if I can grab one of my own. I'll start with, hey, was that house on Owen Street still for sale? I'm sorry for the random call. I was an interested buyer. I'll start with that.
Hello, you've reached Melanie Damon. Unfortunately, I cannot take your call right now, but I would love to return it as soon as I can. So please leave your name and number after the beep, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Bye.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Melanie, I had reached out to your realtor regarding 33 Owen Street when it was still for sale, but they said that they couldn't accept my offer or even present it to you because it was not really going to make sense in terms of what you owed on the property mortgage-wise. I saw that the house was off market, which means that you're not paying the realtor's commission anymore. I think I could probably give you a number that's quite close to the 140 that you were asking for. I don't even know if I have the right phone number. This stuff is like inherently inaccurate. So maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here, but I'm going to shoot you a text. If this thing is potentially still for sale, I mean, privately, I'd be really interested in it. Anyways, thanks so much for your time. Talk soon. Bye-bye. So that's absolutely their phone number. I'm now going to confirm that that was the proper owner by looking up the house on public record and seeing if the owner's name is Melanie or if one of the owner's name is Melanie. Yep. That's literally the seller. That's literally the seller. Guys, isn't that crazy? First phone number. First phone number. What did your parents do as jobs? My mom and dad have a small dermatology clinic in Portland. So that's great, guys. And turns out she owes more than we thought she owed. She owes more than we thought she owed. She has a PITI of probably about $1,000 per month now that I'm looking into here on PropStream, assuming taxes and insurance are approaching $300 per month. And it's going to rent out for probably $1,700. Are you a realtor? No, I'm not a realtor. I've never even been to the market I'm calling in, guys. I've never been to Rochester before. I think my sister used to live in Rochester, but I've never been up there. Let's see what it rents out for. It's going to rent for Oh my God, $1,900, guys. $1,900. Oh my God. Y'all realize what would happen if I got this thing for 15K down? Dude, not only would she get over her asking price, they were asking for 140, right? They owe 126. 15 down would be $141,000. Not only could I get this thing for $140,000, 141,000, I would make another 10K on top of that. So you hire an agent after this in Rochester? Why would I hire an agent? Why do you need a real estate agent? You want to know what a real estate agent does? Hey, I see you have a house for sale. I have a buyer, but I'll only tell you who the buyer is if you give me $8,000. Have I done any work? No. Somebody just reached out to my link on my website. Now I'll tell you my buyer's name, but you have to give me $8,000. Wait, but I don't understand. Couldn't the buyer just come to my real estate agent listing the house for sale? $8,000. And then the other side of things, what do realtors do? Hey, I have access to a secret website that nobody else has. Photos on your website if you give me $50. Did I make the website? No, but I took and the 2-month course gave me a login to the website. What do you think? Trade offer. I have a trade offer for you. I have access to a sneaky private website that you don't have access to because I took a 2-month course. I will post photos of your house on that website in exchange for $15,000. What do you think? Doug, why do we need any of that shit? No, just call the seller and I'd be like, hey, can I buy your house? And they'd be like, yeah, okay. And then I pass it off to somebody else for a check like this. There's a $20,000 check, 20K check from October from Wholesaling Houses. So no, I don't need to. But anyways, let me text this person. I'm gonna add her to my guys. Doesn't that seem like I could get a deal off this? Off lightning leads? Like, I don't know why I know why we're not doing lightning leads. I know why. We're not doing lightning leads because I haven't spent a lot of time doing it myself. Why haven't you cashed it yet? You can cash a check and still have the check. You essentially take a picture of it with your banking app, and then the bank deposits the check for you. Okay. So I'm going to save her contact, 33 Owen Street. Don't steal my deal. Seller. And I'm just going to text her and say, is 33 Owen Street still buyable? I had wanted to make an offer on the house while it was on Zillow, but I saw it's off market. But I saw it's no longer on the market. So I just sent her a text. And it delivered. The message says delivered on my phone right here, and it's blue. You see how my message is blue? That's 100% the owner. How do I know it's 100% the owner? Well, dude, I looked up their name, the owner of the property, and it literally says that Mulaney is the owner. And when I call this phone number, and the voicemail says, hey, this is Mulaney. Thanks for calling. Or Melanie. Sorry, Mulaney. I'm tired. Melanie. What did I say? I said, is 33 Owen Street still something I could buy? I had wanted to make an offer on the house when it was on Zillow, but I saw it's no longer on the market. If so, I can shoot you over an offer here. And then we'll just see if she gets back. But guys, if you're thinking that that's a unique opportunity, look at the next one. This house listed for $179, but you go on Zillow and you see that it's no longer for sale at $179. Why? Well, they removed the listing. Why did they remove the listing? Well, look at this. They owe $144. And the Zillow's estimate for the property is 148, meaning that if they had gotten what they were supposed to get, they would have, they would lose $10,000 on agent commission. So they're like, no, I don't think I'll sell the house. Little do they know that I would love to buy the house. Why would I love to buy the house? I don't mean buy the house. I mean wholesale the house. I understand that the rent is going to be $1,900 and you're only paying $1,100. You understand? That's $10K laying on the ground right there. No agent skipped the line. This guy right here, okay, it cash flows, but his mortgage is 141. He was asking 200. He was for sale 2 months ago, but it might be a duplex. That might be a duplex, guys. I see 2 doors. Anyways, I don't know, guys. I think that's a really, really powerful method. Again, we've gotten properties under contract like this. The guy on stage says he's used this platform before. This right here, my first call, is proof that it works. Anyways,
just get you to look at the pictures. So in your DMs, there's a link for the pictures of the house that's supposed to be seller finance with some work. And if you could just check on PropStream, please, for me on the first house, how much do they owe? She didn't specify, but I think she knows the initial amount was like 10,000 under asking price.
Okay, let's check it out. All right, so I'm looking at the house. The photos of the interior are, come on, let's see. Oh, it's not bad at all, dude. Doesn't look that bad. That looks fine. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Dude, the owner
So,
just texted,
and,
dude, the owner just
yeah,
texted me
and
back. I'm so
the,
sorry. I'm so sorry. The owner just texted me back. Guys, look at this. The owner just sent me a paragraph. The owner on the Lightning Leads deal just sent me a fat paragraph. Dude, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I have to read this. So I said, is 33 Owen Street still something I could buy? I had wanted to make an offer on the house while it was still on Zillow, but I saw it's no longer on the market. She says, I decided to take it off the market because I realized I needed more than 140,000 to make my move worthwhile. It just didn't make sense to sell the property such a small return for all the effort I've put in. Plus, I'd be looking at an apartment that costs the same but is way smaller. It's about making, oh my gosh. I'm going to say,
she's the perfect.
hey, I'm so sorry for the random outreach. That makes a lot of sense. The realtor fee and then the offers that were coming in, you probably were looking at like $0 to $5,000 profit. I like to take over mortgages, especially when the interest rate is really good. That's what I've done on all of my other houses. I saw that your interest rate might be in the 3% based on when you purchased the house. I would be willing to pay more than $140,000 for that interest rate. I would take over the debt that you have on the property and I'll give you $15,000 to do so. So if you owed like $125,000, $130,000, you're getting more than $140,000 and you'd net that amount. I'd pay all the closing costs. So I don't know if I'm barking up the wrong tree here. Maybe my information is completely wrong. But if there's a mortgage on the house and you just weren't going to make any money on it, that mortgage is inherently desirable to people like me who like low interest rates. Guys, that's insane. That's insane. Do y'all understand how crazy this is? Look at this. Look at this deal. I just pulled this deal off Rochester, New York. It's in Rochester, New York, guys. This thing was listed for sale at $139,000, right, guys? Listed at $139,000. They have a mortgage on it of $108,000, but what they're not telling you is that there's a second mortgage on the property. So, guys, I looked up the house. They owe $126,000. They were looking to get $139,000. So what did they do? Well, it was for sale on Zillow, but they removed the listing because, as I just said, the owner wasn't going to make any money on it. She just sent me this message. Check it out. She just sends me this message. That message essentially says, hey, I wasn't going to make any money on the sale of my house. And I'm like, bro, I'll give you $15,000 to take over the debt that you have on the property. That would be more than your asking price if your mortgage information is accurate. I'm going to say, I'd love to buy your house. Let me know if something like this would be interesting. I can't believe I'm texting back and forth with this person right now. So I don't know. To me, guys, lightning leads is so worth it, because I call the seller, they didn't answer the phone, so I text them, they get back to me, they have an iPhone. I know it's the owner of the property based on the voicemail that she has. And now we're talking about giving her more money than she would make even at her asking price. And then beyond that, I could wholesale that thing for $10,000. And you're like, why $10,000? Well, dude, $10,000 because there's a 2.9% interest rate on it. There's a payment of $1,000 a month, and the rent is $1,900. No realtor, no nothing, just talking on the phone with the seller. Peak method right here, guys. So sorry to interrupt you. Sebastian says, what is your zodiac sign? Cancer. It's Cancer. All right, Sammy, I'm so sorry, man. Let's keep visiting this.
No worries, no worries.
Your deal is a great deal.
Thank you. Okay, can we please check the first address on PropStream, please? It's a multifamily, 4 units in St. Louis. That's the off-market trust acquisition.
I see West Fairview Ave. That's in not St. Louis, and then I see another one.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. Yeah, no, Fairview. No, yeah, it's 1008.
Okay, so it's not St. Louis.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
Sebastian, what is that? What is that? I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about my zodiac sign. Okay, so looking at this house, Dayton, Ohio is a great market, very desirable. Looks like they have a monthly payment of $1,400, and the house rents out for how much?
Each unit is rented out for $900, between $875 to $950. But there is one that's vacant, that's been left vacant for an owner.
Okay. 950, or what did you say? What was the?
Think of it like 4 units, each one bringing in $900.
Okay, got it. So $3,600. So $3,600 is going to be coming in. I mean, damn, great. You could give this person full 10% down.
Okay, well, does it? I don't know what the situation with the loan, because she said the initial amount was $252. The last listing, or like right before they took it off, was $265. But I don't know what PropStream will say about the loan right now.
The balance is, PropStream says that there's an estimated loan balance of $221. But that,
do you think that's enough equity for us?
Yeah. We don't really care about equity. We just care about the terms within the loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is great, man. Okay. This is really good. You pulled a couple of these off lightning leads, you said?
No, these two are from agents that I was connecting like right before the listing failed. They either didn't get back to me, or they got back to me way after the listing failed. But I did find similar ones on lightning leads. I just didn't want to, bring it up to you till I was sure of my numbers and anything.
Got it. Andrew, so Andrew, I did a lightning leads demo, and then I stopped talking about it for about 10 minutes, and then I started talking about it again. The owner gets back to me. So I identify the lead. I show it on camera the second time I start talking about the deal, and then the owner gets back to me, and now we're having this conversation. They sent me a text. It's the perfect scenario. The owner saved my message and kept it. They kept my message. You want to hear my message? This is what I sent the owner. This is what the owner just listened to. Hey, I'm so sorry for the random outreach. That makes a lot of sense. The realtor fee and then the offers that were coming in, you probably were looking at like $0 to $5,000 profit. I like to take over mortgages, especially when the interest rate is really good. That's what I've done in all of my other houses. I saw that your interest rate might be in the 3% based on when you purchased the house. I would be willing to pay more than $140,000 for that interest rate. I would take over the debt that you have on the property, and I'll give you $15,000 to do so. So if you owed like $125,000, $130,000, you're getting more than $140,000, and you'd net that amount. I'd pay all the closing costs. So I don't know if I'm barking up the wrong tree here, maybe my information is completely wrong, but if there's a mortgage on the house and you just weren't going to make any money on it, that mortgage is inherently desirable to people like me who like low interest rates. That's a compelling offer right there. I don't know. I don't know. Sammy, you're all good, man. I like your deals. Okay. Jesmar, what's up, dog?
Yeah, I sent you something. It's Alabama. I don't know if your guy would like it. I can get it under contract for around 80, and the rent should be 1,300.
Usually 80 is the max price that they'll pay. I'll be honest, I don't really see a lot of these deals flying at 80,000. It wouldn't happen to be occupied, would it?
No, it's vacant right now. When I looked up fair market rent, it says 1,300, and then Section 8 could be 14.
Maybe one of our other. This is like, you know, it's like kind of like gambling, except for you don't have to spend any money. I think I'm leaning towards probably not, but you got like a 40% chance that maybe.
All right, cool. I'll lock it up then.
The reason I say,
right.
Jesmar, the reason I say that is because, well, let's run our. Hold on, before you lock it up, man. Let's just run our cash on cash really quick, because I want to run it at 85. Because let's say we send it to somebody at 85,000, 17 down, right? Maybe 7.2 is feasible on the interest rate. So you're looking at. Gosh, I forget my payment already. Yeah, 461.
13.
And then, you know, I'll use 200 for taxes and insurance. Zillow's kind of low on the taxes and insurance estimate. And then if we go for, you say, is 13 Section 8 or normal?
Normal.
Jason, yes, but the realtors do our contracts. It's super easy. So 1,300. Take 20% off the top, then subtract our 661. You're looking at 379 multiplied by 12. You're looking at 45, 48, and then divided by 17 plus 5, 22. So that'll be about 20%. Yeah, that's just about 20%. So they're kind of, dude, I'm gonna be honest, that buyer, Joseph, he's kind of leaning towards occupied properties. And if it's not occupied, closer to 30% cash on cash. But if you're like,
copy.
That's hard to get, dude, check this guy out. So I think part of the reason is this is for sale at 80 now. It rents for 1,400. As it, like right now, $1,400
right.
for sale at 80, and we got it at 60. So those are the type of opportunities that they're seeing. I would say most of these Section 8 sales happen between 60 and 75,000, and I'm talking 90% happen between 60 and 75,000. So I'm a little nervous about that, dude. I'd love to get something like that closer to $70,000. So honestly, if I don't know how you feel about canceling contracts, I hate canceling contracts. It's my least favorite
me too.
thing. So I really hate it. So I know it's technically free to get it under contract, but I just think about the seller planning their life around the sale, and then the fact that, sorry, just kidding. And I feel bad about that. And it's also embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I feel bad. It's a plethora of emotions. It's also frustrating. So for me, I probably wouldn't lock it up unless I'm at like 70. And I would just be like, hey, I sent this to my lender. This is just kind of where my lender told me I can.
Yeah. All right, cool. No doubt. I just want to see where the criteria is for the guy. So
I hate to mislead you.
I know now.
I'd hate to mislead you. Yeah. It would feel bad.
All right, cool. Occupy properties that have good rent. And that's what he's looking for.
Yeah, and look at this little chart right here, 1,200. I like that. I like this little chart that Moises made. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a call from somebody. Oh, it's from Portland. Okay. Hello? Hello? Andrew says he has a call for me to make. Andrew, what's up? It's expensive.
Yeah, I have one of those potential $0 down deals at a 4% rate. It's a cheaper home though, so I was wondering if you can cop it and see what the comps are going for in the area. It's a home. She listed it on the market herself for like 175 grand. But it's not selling right now, and she owes 150 on it. It's in Beaumont, Texas, which is a pretty populated area.
You should put your profile picture back to the black line over your eyes.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, you should put that back.
That's like a throwback, bro. That's like 5 years ago.
Put it back. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
check.
I'll send you the lady's number, but it was a website. He knows who you are.
Dude, my video with Kira yesterday. That's how I want to make. That's how I want to make clips from the live stream, bro. That's not bad. Like, bro, people really liked this. That's it's.
What's the engagement like on TikTok?
Well, on Instagram, 1,300 likes almost, 45 comments, 14 reposts, and 330 sends. 330 people were like, "Let me send this to my buddy." Engagement on TikTok.
Oh, nice.
Engagement on TikTok is 80 saves, 10 comments, 382 likes. So honestly, bro, just to switch up the view sometimes, I would be like, hey, can you film an intro for this clip here? And then grab the clip off of the YouTube stream that we did, this YouTube stream right here. And dude, here's the thing. I screen recorded it. That means that the quality is ass. If you didn't screen record it, if you did the actual whatever we do, I don't know how else you could get it other than maybe there's a way to download or something. But if you didn't screen record it, the quality would be way better. And then that's kind of like
would you mix it? Would you want to mix it with the YouTube stream and the TikTok stream?
That's another
thing.
When
you say different angles,
bro, imagine that it starts like this and then it jumps to this. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'd definitely try that.
Honey Beehives, get me a self-portrait.
I sent you the lady's information. Do you think would you mind possibly comping it real quick? Because it's listed at 176, but she owes 150. And I'm not sure if that's a justified number or if she's willing to go lower, you know.
I love cheap price point houses like this because it might cash flow. And the idea of something cash flowing is just, it's just so great right now. So guys, we got a house right here. This is, oh wait, I can share it because it's off market, or is it on market?
It is on market right
now. Okay. Oh, my contractor. Yeah, on the floor. If we have a bathtub that has missing or gapped caulking, over time, people will take showers in the house or they'll just get water on the floor. You know, you put your little bath mat there, and then the water soaks into the crack underneath the tub, and it can cause all kinds of issues, as you know. So I'm going to get this thing inspected, and I understand you don't like the house, but the things that we worked on need to be new. They can't look like, I guess, right there. Okay, so checking out the house, looks like PropStream's saying she owes 98. You think it's more?
She texted me today saying about 150.
Dude, she has a 2.2% interest rate.
No, she said it was 4%. So I don't know. It doesn't sound like she had the mortgage statement. She said the rate was 4%, and then I was like, "How much do you owe?" She said, "I think 150K." And so just confirm that with her. But yeah, it's not a 2.2, I don't believe.
Okay.
So she opened up. I texted her. She opened up saying that she needed to sell and she's not behind on mortgage. So like she knows what you do. So I think she's open for a mortgage takeover type of deal.
I think it's great because she was asking for 176, or she's currently asking for 176, right?
Yeah. So I haven't comped it yet. I don't know if she overpriced that to get some money out of the sale or what the deal is, but.
Okay. I don't care about comps, which is probably every real estate investor under the sun would be like, what? What do you mean you don't care about comps? And I'm like, a property is not worth its price. It's worth its financing, assuming I'm going to hold on to the property. And that's not an invitation to offer like crazy numbers, but at the same time, it low key is. And the reason I say that is because, Pam's deal, he offered $75,000 over list price, and we still got a $50,000 assignment fee, which shows you that with the appropriate financing terms, a property is not worth its price, it's worth its financing. And another way that you can think about that is if you have two houses that are identical houses, identical exact same houses, would you rather pay 300 for one or 500 for the other? They're the exact same house. Would you rather pay 300 or 500? 300, right? Okay, what if it's 300K cash? And what if it's 500K with 50K down and monthly payments? What's going to make a higher return on investment? What do you make a higher return on investment for? Paying 300 for a property or paying 500? Well, you'd assume 300, right? Because it's less. But the thing is, if it's $300,000 up front versus 500,000, $50,000 down, maybe $1,500 in monthly payments, as we frequently see in our seller finance deal, you're making through the roof cash on cash return. And because people in my chat are saying, no, that's not true, I'll literally do the math for you right now. Let's say the house rents out for $2,500. Fair enough, right? Okay. So $2,500 is what it rents out for. We have to take 20% off the top of the rent for expenses. So your $2,500 turns into $2,000, right? You still have taxes and insurance. Let's say taxes and insurance are $400 per month. Okay. So the property without a mortgage on it will make $1,600 a month. You paid cash. This is the cash scenario. It'll make $1,600 a month. 20% off the top for expenses, $400 for taxes and insurance. Multiply your $1,600 a month by 12. You're making $19,000 a year. Now divide your $19,000 by $305,000, $5K for closing costs, and your return on investment is 6%. You would have done a lot better in the stock market if you had done that. Stock market is doing way better than that. It's quadruple that right now. Okay, now let's see if we overpaid for the house for $500K. Well, you buy it for $500K, but your down payment's only $50,000, as I said, but call it $55,000 for closing. So $55,000. But you have a mortgage on the property now, right? But it's seller finance, so we set our own payments. Pam just did a deal for $800,000 with $1,500 in monthly payments. So $1,500 in monthly payments, I mean, it could be even lower than that. Let's say it's $1,250. You're paying $1,250 per month, and the haters in the chat will be like, where are you getting a mortgage for a house where your payments are going to be 12? Dude, I'm doing a $2 million deal right now with $3K in monthly payments. $3K. It's seller finance. I set my own payments. So back to the example, $500K house, $500K cash, or $500K, $50K down in monthly payments. So you're bringing in $2,500. We take 20% off the top. Then we subtract $400 for taxes and insurance. And then we subtract our monthly payment of $1,250. You're making $350 per month, which is not very good for a $50K down payment. You multiply that by 12, and then you divide that by your $55,000 with $5K for closing costs. And instead of a 6% return, it's a 7% return. So I think the example is pretty terrible, but what I'm telling you is you're getting a higher return on investment paying for something with a down payment and monthly payments than you would with cash. So a property, if you're going to flip the property, its price is important. But if you're going to hold on to the property for 20 years, doesn't really matter. And another point to be made is when you buy a $300K house, you pay the bank closer to $900,000 over the course of your loan. So anyways, I'm gonna call this house now that Andrew has for me. I don't really care about the comps because it's cash flowing. And if it's cash flowing, that's great. But is it cash flowing? I don't know. What does it rent out for, Andrew?
I'm not sure. Let me see. I haven't checked it out yet. And make sure, by the way, don't call the listing agent. Call the seller. The number I sent you over text is the seller's number.
So I got $1,800 on the rent, and my property has monthly payments on it of $800 plus.
She said the monthly PITO was around $1,400.
Okay. All right. So guys, my house will rent out for $1,800 and I'm paying $1,400 and I've got a 4% interest rate. Somebody would buy that for the right price. So I think there is something here, actually. I like this deal. Okay. So Okay. Here it goes. I got an offer from Gunnar and Taylor Properties. Is it legit? Probably. Tell me the address and offer, and I'll tell you if it's legit. It's one of our acquisitions managers. Oh no, I hope she answers.
Please leave your message for 81.
Can't show the phone number. Guys, the RS6 gets tuned tomorrow. The tune has 650 horsepower. It's going from 591 to 650, and it's going to get louder. So she didn't pick up the phone, but I'm going to send her a text. Hey, Sarah. Wait, is it Sarah with an H? I don't want to spell this wrong. Yes. Are you sure it's Sarah with an H? I think they might get pissed about that. Let me just check. Oh, it says it's owned by Keith Allen Bradford. Hey, Sarah. I saw you reached out. Oops. Reached out about. Okay. All right. And I got another call to make, actually. I have another follow-up to make. I'm going to add her to my contacts. Andrew, you may want to clip this. We might be about to get a deal right here. So I have a follow-up from about a week and a half ago. I'm pretty excited for it. 30% cash on cash. Sure. Speed King of Detroit. Yeah, we'll talk, man. I'm going to go ahead and give this person a call, though. God, I hope my flip closes, guys. I hope my flip closes. I have inspection on the flip shortly, and I got it cleaned out. I'm having a couple things just tidied up in there. I really hope it closes. I'm so nervous about it. I don't want to hold on to that property. But we are under contract with the buyer. So the next seller is in Norman, Oklahoma, and I will be sharing the address with you guys. I will be sharing the address. So this is our next call. It's another mortgage takeover. Surprise, surprise, another mortgage takeover. Here we go again. Guys, I think that our students who are ripping the fattest and most consistent checks are doing mortgage takeover. With the exception of Yusuf. Yusuf has a $16,000 cash deal in closing. You know what Yusuf got his $16,000 cash deal from? I think it was listed for $120,000. And he got it. He got the thing for $62,000. That's half. That's half. Anyways, this person says, "Do you need any partners for wholesaling in Panama City? I would love to learn." So, Stephanie, this is probably one of my most common questions. Do you need any partners? I'm doing it here. Can I help you out? I know that your license, because I see in your bio, it says Florida Realtor. Your license is exclusive to Florida. I'm unlicensed, and I do this in almost every state across the United States. So, Stephanie, there is no reason for you to do it exclusively in Panama City. Sure, Panama City, right? In fact, Panama City is one of the cheapest markets in all of Florida. You might have a lot of really nice cash flowing, low equity deals over there. So, I mean, that would be interesting to see. But that's just something that I would attack if I were you. If I were in your shoes, I would use the MLS to pull low equity listings, and I'd offer to take over the debt using a trust acquisition agreement. You're looking at 5 to 10K a pop on those. But you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it in Panama City. You do this everywhere. Wholesaling, you don't need a license for it in most places, and you can just do it anywhere. Like, for example, I'm doing this in Oklahoma for this next call that I'm about to jump into. I've never been to Oklahoma. I never will go to Oklahoma. Okay. Although I do own a house in Oklahoma, but I'm trying to sell that house. I am under contract for it now. Okay, Norman. What did he say? Here we go.
Hello.
Hey, it's Richard Taylor. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry about yesterday.
No worries. Benjamin, right?
Yep.
Nice to talk to you again, man. Gosh, I wish I had more notes on the conversation we had before. Let me see if I have any. Oh yeah. I had offered to take over your debt, and then we were going to revisit that a little bit later. What I'm curious though. What was owed on this property? I'm so sorry. It looks like my notes are lacking.
Stand by. I will pull up thing right now on that.
No worries. Take your time.
It says that it's at about 148.
Oh, perfect. And I remember, was this a scenario where the rent was kind of close to what the house has a mortgage payment on?
Yeah. So like I pay about 11 on average for a mortgage payment, and then you said that the area around here was like about 14.
About 1,400. Got it. Okay, I kind of see where we were. And what was the underlying interest rate on the debt?
3.5.
3.5.
That I shot you over via text.
I think that's what the kicker was, because I'm like, oh man, I'm losing money per month after my management company, but you've got a great interest rate on there that I'm interested on. And were there any back payments on it or liens?
There is, like, I'm working on with the bank right now to get caught up.
Right.
And they didn't mention anything about after the quote unquote restructure of the loan that it would change the interest rate at all. I think the reason why that they're doing that was because I was military, so they want to keep it at that, and they messed up. So they were supposed to give me a VA loan, and then they ran my credit a second time before they were supposed to.
And they gave you an FHA?
Yeah. So then they gave me an FHA with a 3.5%.
You actually lucked out, because I think I even told you this, because if they had given you a VA loan, this method of sale doesn't free up your VA entitlement, but it does free up your FHA entitlement, or your credit score, so to speak. So that, I mean, it's kind of fortunate here. But yeah, so I think what I had offered you was, if there are any back payments that we have to catch up, we'll do that as well. But we were going to give you $5,000 to take over the debt here, no realtor fee, and then we're going to pay all of the closing costs on top of that. And then we were going to revisit that today.
Yep. Yeah. And so do all the back payments, and then 5,000 on top that would go to me, correct?
Yeah. And how much are those? Yeah. How much are those back payments?
Right now I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to call the bank and get that number for you, and I could text it over.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. What were your thoughts on that? So it sounds like the purchase price would be somewhere close to like 165,000 with everything involved.
I'm good with that. I wouldn't be able to sign anything over until April, though. In March for 2 weeks, I go out of the country. I planned this way back in like
Oh,
September.
no worries. These things take 30+ days to close anyway. So
Okay.
so chances are we're looking at like a 5-week close of escrow, like 1 week to get the contract over to you and sign and everything. And then we can also set an extended close of escrow, like a 40-day close of escrow on this thing.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's cool.
I'll tell you what, text me over those back payments just so I don't want to do the contract before I kind of know what we owe there.
Yep.
Just so I
I
understand the
get that.
entry fee, and then we'll go ahead and send you over an agreement and see if we can make something happen.
Okay. Sounds good. And yeah, and then I also had like a little bit of those house repairs too. Don't forget about that too.
Oh, text me over the details. But what was the house needing?
I'm getting the furnace fixed with the new motherboard that needs to be in it. They said that it was a smart idea to get the vents that are in the slab flipped to the ceiling, and then some TLC.
Okay, and is that stuff that you're handling?
The getting the vents flipped is a little too steep for myself right now. But the motherboard I am getting fixed.
Okay. Well, we'll just kind of send my partner in the property. I think I told you I got a house in Oklahoma City, not tremendously far from this. So I'll send my partner into the property. He kind of does the rehab sort of stuff, and he'll kind of let me know what I'm looking at there, and just to make sure it makes sense. So we'll throw an inspection period onto the contract so we can go ahead and check out the rehab. But is the furnace stuff something you're handling?
Yes. Yeah. I'm getting that worked on the 1st of April. I will have it booked and ready to go.
Great. Okay.
And paid for.
So just text me over the back payments on that, and then we will go from there.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Richard.
Absolutely. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
Okay. Back payments. Maybe so his payment is $1,100 per month. Maybe he's missed 4 months of payments. I mean, maybe that's $5,000 that he has. Maybe 5 months of payments, $5,500. Can't be more than 10 months of payments. He wouldn't own the house anymore. So he's missed 5 months of payments, which is a lot. That would be $5,500 plus $5K. That would be about $10,000 down. Keeping in mind that the house has an estimated value of $206,000. So that would be great. That would be great if we can get, a house like this for maybe $10,000 down at 3.5% interest, even though my payment is $1,100 and my rent is $1,450, the interest rate drives it home. So how much would that sell for? Maybe five. I have this identical deal closing in Detroit right now, 5K assignment fee. The only difference is they don't have a 3% interest rate. So this is appealing. So one of my buyers would pick something like this up. I kind of like it. I have to know a little bit more about his back payments, and then we'll go from there. But I'm going to flag that as green because that's a deal, guys. He just agreed to that live. So he's down. Now it's a question of whether or not I'm down. Oh, not that guy. So this is green too. This guy goes green because signed and sold. This guy goes green this guy goes yellow because he agreed. Yellow means agreed. Green means under contract. So yeah, I mean, this is great. This is really good. I'm actually loving this. I might make another 5K off of this. Why would I make 5K off of this? That's a great question. Well, does anybody know how much you'd have to spend when buying a 200K house normally? Can anybody tell me the down payment and interest rate that you'd have to give to buy a house for 200K? Down payment, $40,000, $45,000 with closing costs. Interest rate, 7%. Here, 10K down, potentially 10K down, 3% interest rate. So guys, you understand why somebody would give me a finder's fee for that? Hey there, Mr. Buyer, you still buy houses? Oh, great. How much do you have to put down for a 200K house? 40K. Holy shit. Okay. And then 7% interest? Wow. What if you could put down, I don't know, 15K at 3%? Send you the contract? Okay, I'll do that. You understand? I know you can buy a house to live in with 3% down, but when you're buying a house to invest in it, it's 20% down. So the reason this deal makes sense, chat, and I love that this just happened on the live stream, because you can pull these off of lightning leads. We literally had this conversation prior with another seller in Rochester over text, but here's the thing in real time. I don't know, guys. I'm just super passionate about this. I feel like this is immensely doable. Went to college with your clone. Let's get it. All right, y'all want to do questions? That's like two calls or so. Are we good for questions now? 50%. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Let's just do questions, guys. Let's just do questions. Guys, I sleep well at night when I get a yes on stream, and I just got a yes on stream, so I'm gonna sleep well at night. Anyways, I'm gonna set a reminder tomorrow. Remind me to send Norman, Oklahoma seller a contract.
Okay. I added send Norman, Oklahoma seller a contract to the list.
You might have a portal online. Do you know how many months it's been? He says bank is closed, and I'm like, well, you got a portal online. Do you know how many months it's been? Yeah, Robim, of course we can talk. Objection sheet. Yeah, objection cheat sheet. I could do that, man. But let's start talking to people. I want to say Speed King of Detroit is first. Now, I have a question. Speed King of Detroit, what makes you the Speed King?
Well, the speed is just because that's part of my old name. But King of Detroit is because that's the only market I'm in.
I think he has his whole mic muted and everything right there.
I can hear him.
Oh, you can? That's weird.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah.
I can hear Speed King of Detroit. I brought up Solomon. Solomon's on stage right now. Anyways, Speed King of Detroit, you were telling us why you're the Speed King.
Yeah, so speed is just part of my old name that I had before, which was Peace Off for Life. And then King of Detroit's become. I'll park in my truck real quick. King of Detroit's because that's the only market I'm in, and that's the only market I have a bunch of properties for. So that's why I was trying to get a hold of you every time you go into the listings in Detroit. I was trying to help you out because I got way too many off markets. It's getting out of control. And then my buyer just backed out on my deal today, even though it was already on the title. It was already in title company 20 days. So for 20 days. So now I'm trying to find a buyer again for that before title company backs out completely and doesn't even take the paperwork at all.
Well, let's go ahead and check out your deal, man. So is it Blaine or is that something else?
No, it's gonna be. I think I know it from the top of my head. It's 13406 Elmdale Street, ELMDALE Street, Detroit. I believe that one is east side of Detroit. He has it listed for 55. I locked in that contract, 1 hour of him listing it on the market. I got it for 32. I had a buyer for 38 until all this problem that's going on right now.
So I'm sorry, what's the problem?
So what's going on is that once everything was submitted to the title company came back to the seller agent saying that something about a payoff paperwork. And the agent is saying that, there's nothing to pay off. All the paperwork's submitted, but then I don't know. It's just back and forth. We're still waiting and all that stuff.
This is what TCs handle, guys. Every single closing I do has a different hurdle. I'm serious. Every closing you do has a different hurdle. Just like some shit happens, like payoff, lien. One of the owners is out of country, and we need this really interesting document signed or some shit. All kinds of shit happens in closing, guys, and transaction coordinators have faced each and every problem that will happen. So this is why we use transaction coordination. What I would do, dude, is I would submit this to Gold Key TC. you're not splitting your assignment fee with us. That's not what's happening. Essentially, this is not to split your assignment. You've already found your buyer. This is to have somebody handle all of the bullshit and speak professionally on your behalf to make sure it's closed. It's like you have a realtor on your team, but they're not a realtor. They're closer to an attorney.
So what are they going to do? Because the buyer already backed out.
Oh, well, okay. Then you need to submit it to my team to sell again. Okay, then you need to bring a new buyer. So
No, I already the problem is I submitted 2 deals to your team, and those are probably the last 2 deals I will ever do, because both times they would say it's not a good deal, but I'll already have a buyer in line, and then they'll come back saying, "Oh yeah, never mind, it is a good deal." So I'm like, it's too late. I already found a buyer.
Remember, your buyer backed out last time. So whether or not you have a buyer, whether or not you have a wholesaler, it could totally be up in the air. But here's the thing, dude. If you post a deal on Facebook and you're 10K below list, somebody may say that they're interested and say that they're a buyer. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to close on the property. My team is not going to taint our buyers list if we don't have a steeply discounted property. So if we send a deal to a buyer and it's very close to what the house is listed for, that hurts our relationship with the buyer. So I have instructed my team to flat out reject deals that are not steeply below list, because my buyers are going to be like, hey man, I could literally get this myself for this price. You're wasting my time. So my team will 100% reject deals if it's not something that we deem to be a deal.
That's the number they gave me though. That's why I got it at the number that it is. And I got it at 32, and my box cartel said 37. So then I went to the buyer for 40, and then he agreed on 40, and I forgot something happened, and I told him thank you for the honesty, so I gave him a discount of 38.
Okay.
And then I have another one where my boss cartel said get it for, I forgot however much.
Dude, I wouldn't put so much stock into the number the Buy Box Cartel gives you. It's supposed to be training wheels. We're supposed to comp out the property for ARV and figure out where we need to be. Buy Box Cartel is for people who literally I never use Buy Box Cartel for cash deals. It's for people who don't know how to comp deals so that we can roughly give them a number that they should be at. But honestly, guys, you look at a deal and you should be significantly below list no matter what Buy Box Cartel says. And then you also need to comp it out. We also need to say, hey, is this going to be a good fix and flip? So I can look at your deal and determine whether or not it's going to be a good fix and flip. Maybe it will be a good fix and flip. I don't know. But it does say pending right now. I'm assuming that you're pending on that.
Yeah. So the reason, so it's a good deal, but the reason why it's 55 from the start is because the homeowner had somebody close to them that lost, like they died, and they needed the money quick. But I believe the ARV for that is like 145 or 135 or something.
I don't have any photos of the interior, so I couldn't
I
really.
have it all. It's perfect. It's basically like 10K rehab, maybe even less than that, maybe like 5K. I have like 20 properties that are 5K, 10K rehab. I have all of it. You name it, and I have it all. It's too much to dispo. It's just I can't even handle it. I can only do I'm actively selling 2, which is the one I gave you now, and then there's one that is let me get the address here. Damn, I can't even think right now.
Well, dude, I'll tell you what, my team will continue to reject deals if they're not deeply below list. However, if you have a deal that's listed at like 60 or 70 or 80, and then you got that thing at like 0.7 of what it's listed for, great. That's awesome. You have a nice discount. We also won't accept deals in war zones. So there's multiple factors as to whether or not my team will spend our time and resources on dispoing a deal. Because what's happening when we dispo is somebody's behind the scene cold calling. Somebody's like, hey, I saw you bought this house. Do you want another house? And we got to make sure that the deal is deeply discounted and follows the right criteria. So definitely take the cash courses. But if you're having problem dispoing deals, submit it to my team. And if it's acceptable, they'll take it. You can argue with them and see if you can convince them that, they're negotiable.
Well, the other property that I have, I got it I found it right here. It's 4030 LeMay Street, Lemay Street, Detroit. That's east, southeast of Detroit. Rents out for $2,000. That one I'm currently active. That one I got it at 64,000. And when I just put it to Buy Box Cartel, it was supposed to be listed for 68, but they put it for 70. And so I'm trying to figure out because it's not going to sell at 70. It might sell at 68, maybe a little bit lower.
Dude, again, don't put so much stock into BioX Cartel numbers. Definitely do the numbers manually yourself. So if you don't know how to do the numbers manually, go take the fix and flip course, the cash course. It'll explain exactly how to calculate your ARV and where you should be. But what's the address?
So I do 60% of the ARV minus repair minus my assignment fee.
Good. That's exactly where you should be. What's the address on this?
4030 LeMay Street. LEMAY Street, Detroit. I believe that one's listed for 90,000 right now.
Okay. So
it rents out for $2,000 average in that area. Rehab, I believe it's 15. And it comes out. You see that land right there on that last photo? It comes with that land right there. It's buildable land, but with no permit currently. That one, they listed it for 70K, but I was only looking for a buyer around 66 to 67K.
Okay. I don't know why I can't see the house. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, I definitely like to get 90K houses closer to 60K. What did you offer on this thing?
64. That's what I got it in right now. That's what I'm saying. If I could just get it for 67 or 68, doesn't matter to me. Like 60K is not bad. My initial offer was 40K on that property.
Those are good offers. That's a good offer. My team would definitely accept something like this at $40,000. That would be great. And you'd 100% have a deal at 42. So something like this, I would have to go through the comping process. So I'll comp it out with you really quick. So it looks like it's 1917 for 2.5 with 1,500 square feet. 1917 for 2.5, 1,500 square feet. So I'm going to go from here to here to here to here. I'm just going to comp in this range. So 89.
Hey, Richard, if you want comps, I got some. I just posted in chat right there.
Well, I want to show the process for everybody. So $89,000, 4.3, 1,500 square feet, 1917. Okay, so let's go ahead and price these things high to low. Something of concern is that past 3 years, these are past 3-year sales, and there are not really any ARV comps in this specific area right here, but maybe there are more elsewhere. So let's keep scrolling. 4.3, we need a 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,550 square feet. So that's close. That's close, but it's square footage a little bit bigger than us. So I want to find something similar. I also want to find something that looks like this house. So let me just get a peek at what this house looks like. It's a bungalow. So I'm going to look for another bungalow, 4.3 bungalow, 1,550 square feet. So pricing high to low, there's a 5.3 something. There's a bungalow. That's a bungalow built in 1919. It's been nicely renovated. They did a really nice renovation on this house. Like, honestly, a really great renovation. This thing looks like a new construction. When you get a flip that looks like a new construction, guys, you know you've done a really good job. So this guy did a really nice flip on it, sold for 160, and that is an ARV comp. Proximity to your property, kind of far, but within the comp range, I'd say. If we take this price per square foot, this will indicate what you'll sell for with a really good rehab. So this guy sold for 94 per square foot, 94 per square foot. Let's grab one more comp here. We need another bungalow. That's a bungalow, but that you don't want to comp with that. That's bad. There's only one comp. And that what's interesting is that this comp, when did you sell? Oh, it sold in 24, so it's not a comp. We can't comp with this because it sold a long time ago. It sold in November of 2024, which is almost a little more than 2 years ago, I think. Yeah. So that's, or wait, no, that's not how that works. It's still a long time ago. But yeah, I would say that. Well, I mean, just not a whole lot of flips right here. This guy's Briggs Street seller. I'm getting a call. I got to take this call. Richard Taylor.
Hey, this is Sarah. I was giving you a call back.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
So yeah, let me pull up this property. This is 265 Bridge. Oh, yes. This is the I remember now. I'm sorry. I've been talking to so many sellers today. You've got the house in Beaumont, Texas.
Yes.
You've got like 140 something on your loan or so. Is that right?
Yeah.
And this thing is currently for sale on Zillow too?
Yes, it has been listed. I wonder if she put it on Zillow, but it's not behind on the mortgage or anything. But I was just kind of wondering, like, I don't know. I've seen some of your TikToks. Are you doing like more of the creative financing?
Yeah, I love to take over debt when I'm cash flowing on a property or if I have a good interest rate. So let's see if you'd be a good candidate for that. Sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't. So I heard in our messages you have like a 4% interest rate, right?
Yeah.
Is it 4 on the dot or is it 4 and some change?
I have to double check. I mean, it's my brother's house. And he's stressing about selling the damn thing. So I was like, let me help you out, bro.
Yeah. Do you
so I want to say it's around 4.
Got it. And do you happen to know his monthly payment on this thing?
Yeah, about $1,500 with everything.
$1,500 with everything. So that's taxes, insurance, and there's no HOA on this one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. And then what do you think it would rent out for?
Honestly, I mean, I don't know, because I mean, Beaumont's everyone's there for oil. And now we're doing drill baby drill. So,
Okay. So we got a 4% interest rate, 4 and some change, perhaps. We've got a $1,500 monthly payment, somewhere owed around like 145. Do you think?
Yes.
145. And we also have a realtor tied to the property. Do we have to pay the realtor too?
I mean, we don't have to. We can like, hey, you didn't sell it. Like, whatever's gonna work, right?
I'm curious, honestly, because it's been there.
Honestly, I would rather get the money.
So it's the house has been there for only 2 weeks or so. Do you think the realtor would be, or maybe it got removed and put back on? I do see a number of listing put back on, but that looks like it was from 2019.
Yeah, that's when he first bought it.
Okay, so it's only been there for like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. He just moved, and so now it's sitting empty.
Okay. Well, maybe we have to pay the realtor. Maybe we don't have to. It kind of depends on the contract that you guys have with them. But yeah, I think I would be interested in something like this. What do you think he's expecting to make on it? Was he expecting to make something or break even or even bring money to the closing table?
No, he's definitely trying to make something. But then, as you know, with realtor fees and everything else, that number just dwindles down. So he's just, honestly just trying to make as much as possible.
Got it. Okay. So I'm seeing rent in the area of probably around $1,700. The way that we run it is management takes 10%. I'll have 1 month of vacancy. Usually we look at $1,700 as 20% less than that, which puts us around $1,360. So it's kind of like a break even, if not lose a little bit of money in the rental scenario. However, I like the rate. 4% is really good, and potentially rents increase in this area in the future. So I think we definitely we could find somebody who would want to take over the debt on it. Not me, and the reason I say not me is because, well, it's the cash flow is kind of low for my taste. However, another investor might be really, really, really excited about a 4% interest rate, and I think they would pay him to take over the debt. I don't think it would be a lose money scenario. I think what we're looking like here is I probably would want to say $7,500 offered to your brother to take over the debt on the property. The realtor's commission would be less than 75. So worst case scenario, if you had to pay their commission, he'd probably still be able to make some money on it. But the way that we do this, there's a chance that he potentially wouldn't have to pay the realtor just because the nature of the sale is kind of uncommon. It's kind of like adding somebody to the ownership of your property that takes over your payments rather than selling the property outright. So technically, you wouldn't necessarily have to pay the realtor out of that $7,500, but I'd also cover closing costs on top of that too.
Okay.
So we might be looking at netting $7,500, just kind of depending on whether or not we pay the realtor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's something that they'd be interested in, but I'd love to shoot the offer his way and see if you can kind of be a little bit of an intermediary between us. No, for sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that. And I mean, that way just gives them options. Excellent. And let them know that I'm going to cover all fees beyond that. So there's going to be all kinds of closing fees and such. I'll cover all of the fees beyond that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how soon could you do this or have someone?
Generally speaking, I take a 5-day period of time to find that individual. Worst case scenario, I don't find that individual and you're still on the market. But I would say it's pretty likely. I mean, we're talking about a 4% interest rate for $7,500. So I really think somebody in my network would, especially given that for the past 4 years, we've been collecting people who buy stuff like this.
Okay. Yeah, well, definitely. Let me get with him, talk with, see how he feels about that. See if he's talked to the realtor and if there's any bites on it or,
Yeah.
I don't know what he's looking at.
And I don't put expirations on my offer. So if he wants to sit there for another couple months and nothing happens, I will still be here.
Yeah, no, he's not going to want to do that.
Well, we're here regardless of what he decides.
Yeah, he's going to want to get rid of this thing because it's just another payment. He's not living there.
I totally understand. And you can let him know with this scenario of sale, it would be offset from his credit score, just in case that's something that's on his mind.
Yeah, for sure. Because, he moved back to Dallas and he's like just trying to figure it all out. So, okay.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, when should I give you a call back on this?
Well, I mean, how late do you work? Or at least I can either talk to you this evening or tomorrow is fine. Sometime in the morning, whenever you have time. I know you're incredibly busy.
Actually, I'm not that busy. Everybody thinks I am, but it's pretty manageable. I make a couple calls during my live stream and then I show other people how to do it. And that's pretty much it. I work like 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. But anyways, I would say I'm on Pacific time, so it's really early here. It's only 3:50. You can absolutely text me back tonight because I got a dinner with Dad at 6:30 and then an event after that, just social stuff. So if you text me, I'll get back to you 100%.
Okay, I will do that. I'll shoot you a text.
Perfect. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That's happening. That's going to be number 2 for today, guys. That's going to happen for sure. I'm going to flag that one as well. I'll just say potential yes, follow up, name in contacts. Fix the font there. Wow. Okay, that's another one. I was talking.
Oh, no, was that the seller?
Sorry, I had my volume off. What's up?
Oh, was that the realtor or was that the seller?
That's the seller's sister.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the seller's sister. No, I don't. JT, not a date. No, I got dinner last night was actually canceled. It's actually tonight. And then for my Portland, Oregon members, y'all know Pace Morby's here tonight. Y'all know Pace Morby, the creative finance guy is hanging out in Portland, Oregon tonight. So we might make a surprise appearance at that event. So I might go there. No, it's not a date. It's like I spoke with Pace on stage. Y'all remember our event in San Antonio this October? I spoke with Pace on stage back in October. So I've got dinner tonight at 6:30, and then I might show up to that event afterwards. But yeah,
I was supposed to go to that one here in Fort Worth, or actually rather than Dallas, but that freeze that weekend canceled that, so he pushed it over to May.
Yeah. And for the marketplace demo, guys, I really would like to. I really would like to do that. Let me ask Chris. Chris is the guy who's on that. So I'll say, hey, dude, people are still asking for the marketplace demo. Let me know what your potential ETA is on that because a lot of people want to see it. All right. I think I was talking to Speed King of Detroit before I had that call.
I sent you a couple off markets. You got to scroll up a little bit.
I can't look at all of these deals right now. Is there something specific I can help you out with? I know that we had checked out a couple others.
No, just to see if you were interested in building before I back out of the deal.
Okay. Now, my interest is literally just whether or not my team can dispo it, but I only see one address from December 22nd in my DMs with you. I don't see anything else. I just put it in the chat.
No. We talk on Instagram.
That's not me, bro. That's my employee. I don't run that.
Bruh. on there. Well, he had most of them, and most of them I sent them on the chat here just now. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Because I got way too many off markets to just send them right now. I'm currently working, and I can't display on my boss cartel, but those are coming from my my contractors. All the properties I have are coming from pocket listing on agents, contractors, landlords, and so on and so forth. It's just it got out of hand. That's pretty much it. I just got way too many deals. And my boss cartel, I don't really trust it that much. I don't really use it anymore at all. I just try to find my own buyers. So I sent you a couple of cheap ones that I think is pretty good that are off market.
Well, dude,
other than that, that's pretty much it.
I'll tell you what, if you want me to look at an address for you, you can DM it to me, but there's nothing in my DMs from you right now. I understand you DM me on Instagram. I don't run my Instagram account. So I
they're on this chat. The live chat. You can see the photo. You can see the photos of them and the ad. I didn't put the address yet because I'm driving. It's kind of hard to pull.
Okay.
But I can DM you if you can receive them. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So what's the address on this thing?
All right, so I can give you. Not looking at your screen. I'm gonna give you one right now. It's 18510 Alcoy Street, ALCOY, Detroit. That one we're asking $40K. This one came from my contractor. There's no photos from off market, of course, but the photos are. Let me scroll up and tag it again so you know which one I'm talking about. Why isn't it letting me? What's going? Did I freeze again? It's not letting me look at whole tracks. It's up there. It's up there. I can't go back up. I don't know why.
Well, all I can say is it's a 2-bed, 1-bath. I'm looking at some photos on Zillow because there are some older photos there. It looks to be turnkey. Is the house turnkey? Huh? I saw those photos. I don't know if he said it was a different property. Dude, can you hear me?
I don't hear him as well. I think he cut out.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. It's a 2-1. So we need to convert it into a 3-1 if we're flipping the house. Yeah, well, he disappeared. Okay, I didn't kick you off stage. I swear to God, you guys see my screen share. I did not kick him off stage. Rabim, sure, we can absolutely look at your deals. So Speed King is yeah. So I'm looking at your house on Alcoy. I didn't get clarity from you as to whether or not it's turnkey. I do understand that you have photos up in the chat. I see the photos, but I thought you said it was of a different house, not representative of this. The estimated value on PropStream is 56. You're offering it at 40. Great. You know, we got a discount there. As far as a fix and flip, it could potentially be there, but I do need to know the photos of the interior. But I'll also let you know that as a fix and flip, it's going to be a much lower amount because it's a 2-bed, 1-bath. So I'm imagining, just based on some of the comps nearby, you get a 125.32 here. So, you know, maybe you sell for 100, maybe ARV is 100. And if you got it at 40, you know, your rehab would be maybe no more than 15,000. It's hard for me to tell you whether or not something like this is a deal without exactly knowing the interior condition. But it you know, the best you can do is submit it to my team. I understand you don't like Buy Box Cartel. In that scenario, I don't have much of a game plan for you. So yeah. I don't know. It's like I want to dispo your deal, but you don't want to dispo your deal. And I don't know what the interior looks like. So it's hard for me to tell you. It's hard for me to point you in the right direction. Anyways, Matt, how can I help you?
Hey, how's it going? So I have one right now that I just spoke with the realtor about, like, before I jumped on stream here. It looked like a decent deal at first, but I noticed that they had 5% interest rate on that one. It's down in San Antonio. I mean, if they basically said that they're open to a mortgage takeover, if we could get money into the seller's pocket. It was basically just like a one call thing, super easy. I just, they have that little high interest rate. I'm wondering if it's even worth pursuing at this point. It's a 5.25% interest rate. They're listed 215. And basically they said that if we can get let me see here, about in the pocket of the seller and then the 4,300 for the agent, they'd be willing to do it. The only problem is, like I said, that interest rate is a little bit high at 5.25, and their PITI is around 1850 or 1950 from what the agent told me. But they're like so down for it. I just want to know if I can even, if that would even get a buyer if I were to do that.
Okay. Well, is it the one on Betsy Ross?
It is not, no.
Oh, is it in my DMs? That was the most recent. Oh, that's an old one. Okay. Do you want to say it or DM it to me?
Yeah, let me DM it to you. Hang on a second.
Nicholas, I'm probably going to head out after I help out these people on stage here. But if you tell me the list price and what you got it for, I can point you in the right direction. But honestly, if you got a house at 0.7 of what it's listed for, that's pretty good. I think it's a little more than 130K. Remember, we assigned 50K with Pam alone, and we got $26,000 in closing with Yusuf. So I think it's a little bit more than $100,000 in the past, 130,000 in the past 7 days. But not much I can do about it. So it's like I want help, but I don't want help. So I don't know what to do. If you don't have a buyer, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Like, you submit your deal, and my team's like, "Hey, sorry, it's a bad deal. We didn't find a buyer." And what's the best that could happen? You find a buyer. Huh? I just don't. I'm not tracking, bro. It's not tracking. Okay, I'm looking.
Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Stayman.
Yes.
Got you. Okay,
basically he said that, if we can match those, that would do it. It's kind of, breaks a little bit of the rules as far as the interest rates and then the entry fee, which, I mean, if I do the calculations on it, it's not more than 5%. It's about, like, I don't know, 7%. I mean, without including the assignment fee, of course. But I'm just wondering if, because I remember you mentioned on stream the other day, I don't remember which one it was, you said that you were having a hard time finding buyers for a lot of these type of properties, even though it has like a low interest rate, if they're not cash flowing as long-term rentals. Now, this one does not have an HOA.
So I guess I'll ask you this. Rent's for $1,500 or so. Your monthly payment is what, like $1,250?
No, he said 1950 is what that was. So that's why I'm like really, really iffy about that.
What's his interest rate?
5.25.
I wouldn't really consider 5.25 a low interest rate, if I'm being honest. I'd say that's kind of like a medium interest rate. But yeah, man, no cash flow with a high interest rate.
Yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to run by you, because I saw that they sold it back in that it was purchased back in 2021. I was figuring, okay, this one has a very good chance of having a 3% rate. Then when he told me what it was, like, oh, that's not good. So I was wondering if, I mean, like I said, they're down for it, but I don't even know if it's even worth locking up at this point with all that.
Well, I think I will say this, man. It is less than likely to sell a deal when you have a 5% interest rate and no cash flow. It's the only exception there is if it's in like Miami or Los Angeles or Hawaii, and it's just something really desirable that everybody would want to live in. So I mean, I don't see, I don't know why somebody would buy it. However, people buy for tax purposes. People buy for tax purposes sometimes. I don't, it's not immediately obvious to me why somebody would buy the deal. Sometimes you can be transparent with the seller and say, hey, I don't know if anybody would pick this up. I can wholesale it for you. Like on the last deal, remember we were talking to that woman. I didn't want to let her down. So I told her that I was going to be wholesaling her house or wholesaling her brother's house, just so she knows, hey, well, are you going to find a buyer or not? And I say that when I don't have a ton of confidence. Why did I not have a ton of confidence? Well, 4% interest rate, $1,200. And this is honestly like your deal. It's in Beaumont, Texas, but it has a 4% interest rate, $1,100 in payments, and it will rent for $1,450. And I put 10K down. So even in a scenario like that, I'm like, well, I just don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll send it out to the buyers and we'll go. But that's a better deal than this thing here. And I still don't have a lot of confidence in it. So, you know, I see people like Pam has an $8,500 assignment fee right now, and it's literally like not a good deal based on cash flow and interest rate, but it's sold. It's sold. So sometimes creative deals sell even when they're not good deals, just because people love interest rates that aren't accessible anymore and the lack of qualification to buy a house. I have a lot of creative deals that I bought off of wholesalers that I low-key wish I didn't buy, and I just liquidated a number of them, including my house in San Antonio on Masquet. I no longer own the house on Masquet. So yeah, I would say it's not immensely likely to sell, but it's possible.
Yeah. So basically, talking to this guy, what do you think? Should I just say that, hey, look, we could probably wholesale this thing, but just be upfront with him about that?
Yeah, if you wanna not really let him down and kind of lower expectations, just say, hey, I can blast it out to my buddies who also do the same thing here. It just doesn't make sense to me for the reasons that we discussed.
Okay, yeah. And then I have another quick question on a different property. This one is actually closer to where I'm at. Only thing is it's in an HOA. Now I'm wondering, because the CCNRs kind of forbid short-term rentals on this one. I don't know if it's gonna affect midterm rentals like traveling nurses or anything like that. Just wanted to run that one by you because they're also interested in it. They do have a low interest rate. Let me pull up the details here. Hang on a second. I actually wound up driving by it personally. That it just happened to be near one of my job delivery areas. So I actually had a chance to see the exterior of the property myself, since it wasn't too far from where I work.
Okay, let's check it out. Which one is this?
Hang on a second. Let me send it to you. This one over here in Fort Worth.
Okay, and what type of deal is this?
This one would also be a mortgage takeover.
Okay.
They've not had any type of, feedback from any other buyers. No one's been interested in this one. And the only reason why I found out about this is because when I asked the agent for the HOA CCNRs, she wound up forwarding me an email that had it, but it was also a correspondence with another person. I'm not sure if it was the seller or someone else in her brokerage, but they were like, finally, we actually have someone who's looking at this over here. So, like, okay, I'm pretty sure you didn't mean to send me that, but thanks for the free info.
If you have a 3% interest rate on a 300K house, you should put 5% down.
Okay. Yeah. So they have 3.75% interest.
10 to 15 down.
I'm sorry?
10 to 15 down at 3.75% interest when they have a 350K house. So probably $10,000 to $15,000 down. It would be great to get it for like 10, 12, 5 down.
All right. And even though it has the some of the short-term rental restrictions on there.
Yeah, people don't really love Airbnb regardless. If you can rent it out, fine. I think you have a good interest rate, and if you can control a 300K house for 10 to 12 to maybe even 15, but closer to 10 to 12 down, you might have yourself a deal. But hey, dude, I got to move on to some of these other people on stage, okay?
Okay.
Talk soon, though.
All right, thanks, Rich.
Bye-bye. Rabim, what's going on, man? How you doing? Solomon, what's going on? Oh, Rabim.
Yo,
Hey, Rabim. Sorry, Rabim unmuted. Rabim, what's up, man?
I'm good. Couple deals I'm working on. I submitted couple offers. For the first one, I sent you in your DMs. They don't want to do trust acquisition. I still lowballed them. They said, "Oh, there's a mortgage they need to pay." So my question is, how much do I need to be in order to make it a deal? If it is a deal.
Okay.
Because whatever offer I put, they say, "Oh, too little, too little, too little."
Are we looking at the one in Hawaii or Detroit?
Detroit.
Okay. All right. Is this a mortgage takeover deal?
Just a regular cash deal. They don't want to do mortgage takeover or sub to anything like that.
They owe $98K and they're asking 108. So we don't. I mean, what'd you offer them?
I offered $75K. They said it's too low.
Well, yeah, they own. You know, you did the first part of our Trojan horse pitch. You offered them an offer they can't take. Now offer to take over the debt.
They said we don't want to do that.
Well, I'd move on to the next one. I mean, it's a pretty good deal though. I mean, you know, they've been there for 3 months. They owe 98. They're asking 107. It cash flows. It's in Detroit. I would solve those objections. I mean, you can't force them to do anything, but like, I mean, can you tell me why you don't want to do it? It's going to be offset from your credit score. You know, you're making more than you would at your asking price.
I did. They said they don't want to be a part of the mortgage anymore. They just want to get rid of it.
All right. Well, then it sounds like they're not interested. Maybe follow up in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And if they just want to get rid of it, say, hey, well, why don't we offer you 70,000? They'll say, well, I don't want that either. And then it's like, all right, well, there's not much we can do.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my time. I'm trying to get a deal closed.
I understand. If they don't want to do the deal, sometimes we just move on.
Okay. And the other one in Hawaii, I was looking on PropStream. It says it's in fee foreclosure or lease pendants.
Yeah. So pending a lawsuit or haven't made payments, and you're talking about the one in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got the financials for that. It's like 1 month it's making like 2,000, and then the other month it's making like 6K. So I think I should offer is do a mortgage modification and take over the debt for that one.
Well, it's a beautiful house, $1.6 million renovated single family in Hawaii. It's really, really, really nice. And it's right on the water. I mean, yeah, everybody would want this house. So this is the type of house that doesn't need to cash flow because it's literally in Kona on the water and it's fully renovated and it's beautiful. Okay, so looking at the house, what do they owe on their mortgage?
I don't really know. I had a good conversation with the realtor. They said there's a mortgage on it.
Okay. Well, public record in Hawaii is a little bit interesting. It's kind of different, but it's telling me that they got it for $450K back in 2020, which is possible, but damn, that would be insane if that was the case. $450K in 2020 would be crazy, and now being worth closer to 1.5 million. And I see why it would be worth that given the location. I mean, the location is just stunning. It's just in the most beautiful picturesque location you could possibly be. I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like here, but
no.
It's not the address, man.
Okay.
It's just the general location. But Yeah, so it's a really beautiful house, man. If we have no idea what they owe on it, it's very hard for me to tell you what to offer. I'd love to take over the mortgage. We could kind of break the rules based on how nice the house is, but I do need to know the mortgage balance to understand what I could take over.
Okay. So I'll just do the Trojan horse pitch to milk out the mortgage balance.
Yes, milk out the mortgage balance. Yeah, you could do that. Or you could say,
Okay.
or you could just blindly offer seller finance and kind of see what they say to seller finance, and that might bring out the mortgage balance as well.
Okay, I'll do both.
Yeah. All right. Yes. I would continue doing that. Talk soon.
Okay, thank you so much for your time today. Talk soon.
All right, bye-bye. Solomon, hey, sorry for the delay.
How's it going, man?
I'm okay.
All right, so I got these 2 deals. I sent you them in your messages. They're both cash Section 8 deals that I am about to sign a contract on. One of them, package deal for 170, but I'm signing 2 different contracts. So I just wanted to see if I was going to send them to your dispo team, but I want to see what you think of them.
Okay, Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
We got so first things first, on a deal like this, we need to check the crime. The house looks a little ratty from the outside, but maybe it's just the outside. Let's do spot crime. Address. What kind of crime are we looking at here? No shootings. That's nice. Okay.
Yeah, and then also, so the Section 8 rent, I did what you said by subtracting 200 off the thing, and it still has like a lot of cash flow. And then actually a guy in here in the chat, Jack, wants to buy one of them, and he wanted you to like bring him up to see if he should buy it or something like that. I was on a call with him earlier. So yeah.
Okay, it's gonna rent for like $1,250. $1,250 rent kind of correlates to unfortunately, like a $60K lockup price. I'd be confident with this thing around 60,000. I think what's important to note is that it's been on market for 150 days, and the reason I say $1,250 is because the rent is $1,288 on Zillow, so probably $1,250.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, a rent of $1,250 kind of goes hand in hand with the 65K purchase, maybe like 63K. I might offer 63 on something like this in cash, and then I might give them a creative finance solution as well.
Okay. Even if the Section 8 rents are super high?
Yeah. So Section 8 they just are kind of lying constantly.
Okay.
I like to, so Section 8 might pay $1,300. They might look at this and say, okay, rent is $1,250, we'll do $1,300. That's probably what they would say. But note that the market has kind of determined that Section 8 is lying because, it's 150 days and it's been there. So I would say it's not a crazy offer to hit them with $63,000 because of how long they've been on market. We do see people getting offers like that accepted. I'd also consider potentially doing something creative on it if you can.
Okay. It said, the realtor said that one rented for $1,200 and then this other one rented for $1,375, last tenant, which is the 117. This one's off market.
Sorry, I spaced out. Long day. Can you say that again?
Yeah, sorry. The 117, the one on 117 said, the realtor said it rented for $1,375 was the last tenant, and then the one on 216 that's on market rented for $1,200.
So $1,375. If we can get proof of that with a lease for $1,375, and then we could get. I mean, if you get something for $1,375, I feel better locking it up at like high 60s for $1,375, aiming to get it to our buyer at 75. So for $1,375, max a buyer would pay might be around 75, maybe 70.
Okay, and then the Section 8 rent just doesn't even matter in these deals at all.
Yeah, it's just I think they do look at it, but it's closer to long-term rent than you would imagine. Because the way that it works is like if it says the estimate is 1,300 long-term normal private pay rent, probably gonna get 1,200, 1,250, and then Section 8 might
Yeah.
actually pay 1,300, 1,350.
And then, but the Section 8 rent on these says 1,750.
I know, and I really wish it were 1,750. I know, I
But you don't even think I could get 1,550 for the rent on there?
you might be able to. It's really case by case. For example, in Cleveland, apparently they actually pay Section 8 rents. You know, apparently they actually pay the numbers that they say they pay. But from my buyer's perspective, they're just kind of fed up with Section 8. It's not that they don't buy it anymore, they don't do it anymore. It's just like Section 8's numbers are exorbitantly high, and it's oftentimes a lie.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. The cool man says, where do I get that shirt? That's a great question. Change.org. It is $50, but all proceeds are donated to charity. So that's cool. But anyways, oh my gosh, I'm done. Okay. What's up, Jack? We're going to do a wheel spin. Jack says, I got to ask you. Jack, what's up? Jack has to ask me. Jack, you can ask me while I'm doing my wheel spin.
Richard, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, brother.
What's up, dog?
What's up? No, I was interested in this deal with Solomon there that he was showing you because so we literally talked about it today earlier. He called me. And last time we talked, you wanted me to do more of a flip, you said, because I had a little bit of capital. I spoke to Harry about this, about a flip and maybe with his crew, and we could do something there. He said he would recommend a turnkey instead. Just so I don't know why. But that's what I was trying to get your opinion on, man, because this deal makes sense, right? With his numbers, but we don't know, exactly what to do because Section 8 does say a much higher amount and exactly what you just told him, right? Where this is sometimes not true. So we don't know exactly what to do here. And I'm not exactly sure, Richard. So what do you recommend, brother? Because I'm, like I said, I'm just kind of getting started. I'm trying to get.
Are you asking me if you should flip or buy turnkey rental?
Yeah.
How much money you have to spend on this?
So I got a Hellcat I'm trying to sell. That's my car. So probably like 30K I could play around with. 30, 40 maybe.
I would not sell your car to invest in real estate. I wouldn't do that because remember, your 30K of investment is not going to set you up like for life. I would use that to learn how to wholesale. I would use that as I can live off this money and I'd learn how to wholesale houses. And then when I have closer to $50,000, then I might consider doing something like that. Wholesaling houses is also going to let you know what's a deal and what's not a deal. You're going to lock something up and it's not going to sell. And you'd be like, well, that would have been a bad one to buy for whatever reason. And then you start to take note of it. And then you inform what you should buy while also getting paid along the way. So when somebody comes to me and is like, hey, what should I do with $30,000? Man, there ain't no investment in the world apart from gambling, which is going to set you financially free off of $30,000. You're going to need more to be fully financially free. Guys, I think that we could probably retire somebody off of like 80. I could probably get somebody retired off of $80,000. However, if
retired, Richard, I don't know, man.
Yeah. That's 3 Section 8 duplexes. But don't even do Section 8, do normal rent. Or Section 8. But if you get 3 duplexes, you're probably going to be making about $2,800, $3,000 a month, which you can live off of in most places. Not well, but you don't have to work anymore. And then if you do assignment fees on top of that, there you go. So, bro, I wouldn't recommend spending your 30K. What if it goes wrong, bro? And then you have to get a job, and now you don't have the time to learn how to wholesale, bro. So I would wholesale. Instead of spending your $30,000, and then I would stack cash and learn what makes a deal along the way. Anyways, let me spin my wheel and see what we're giving away today. We're giving away $53.18. We're giving away $53.18. How do you structure mortgage takeover with deals that need rehab with no tenants? I like to put down less on the down payment if it needs rehab, but if it's a full rehab, guys, not a mortgage takeover, cash deal. And if you can't do a cash deal because of the equity, pass. So we're giving away $53.18. I've been loving more ambiguous, easier to do trivias. So we're going to see if we can find one of those. Because y'all have been AIing all of this shit, so I'm gonna do something that's a little easier. But Jack, I'll catch you on the next one, man. Okay?
Thanks, man. I appreciate your time, brother.
Absolutely. No bidet, bummer. Hey, if you come up here and you're like, Richard, I want a bidet instead, I will get you a bidet. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, I have a very specific question that many people are going to argue about. You're all going to argue and say, I had the answer first, because everybody is going to know the answer to this. But I need something very specific. It needs to be written in a specific way. So Googling this is not going to work because the question is so easy that y'all are going to be able to answer it, but you're going to answer it wrong. I'm telling you, you're going to answer it wrong. So read the question carefully before you answer. And if you get my question right, I will literally Venmo you $53.18 or whatever payment method you have. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Name an event in the Winter Olympics. Has to be the actual name. Yep, already got people doing it wrong. There we go. Somebody did it right. I wrote skiing does not count. Must be the actual event name. So skiing is not an event in the Olympics. What? Right. It's called slope style. You might have slope style. You might have freestyle. There's a ton of different skiing events. So skiing is not an actual event in the Olympics. You have a ton of different names for it. So the first legitimate name I see is luge. Luge is the first legitimate name that I see. Good curling is the second. Actually, I'm so sorry. I just edged the wrong person. That's probably not the best thing to say, but skeleton. I'm pretty sure skeleton is the actual name of an event. I think skeleton wins. Yeah, skeleton wins. Skeleton is a legitimate event, and Jay wins. So Jay, you're the recipient of $53.18. Yes, curling is an event, but who is the first person who said something? It is skeleton. Skeleton's the first person. Yeah, that's correct, guys. It's an easy question, but y'all read it wrong. And I knew you would. So this guy wins. Anyways, how do we get you paid, man? What's your preferred payment method?
Yeah, I got Cash App, I got Apple Pay, Venmo.
Cash App, Apple Pay.
Or not Venmo, I got Zelle.
Can I Cash App you?
Yeah, 100%. I'll text you. Or I'll send it right now. Hold on.
Yeah, DM me your tag, man. Let's get you paid. $53.18. Pay, and we'll go ahead and send that to him.
All right, I just sent this.
All right. Got you. Giveaway. Guys, my taxes are loving me for giving away all this money. Sent. Did you get that?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I will see you all tomorrow or potentially tonight at that event. I don't know where it is, but Google it. You'll find out. And have an amazing rest of your day. I'll probably be there maybe like 7:45, 8 p.m. or something like that. But I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.